Yeah. Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait till you're free. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major look.
Once again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. What's good? This is Catchway episode 769. You know what it is, Mayweather, Logan Paul going down real soon. And, it's a lot of talk about this fight for the legacy of Floyd Mayweather. And I happen to say that I feel something that's going on right now, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to this fight. You know, a lot of people are talking about potentially the fight may be fixed. I know people don't want to deal with that 3-letter F word, but in the sport of boxing, if you can do it and it's transparent to however the scenario is, it happens. But with this particular case right here, it's a hard push. It's extremely hard push to promote these Paul brothers. It's extremely hard push for people to be opportunists to make money off of it. I see it. I feel it. Logan Paul is 0-1 right now, contrary to what some other channels are reporting. Let me clear some things up, and I really don't want to put people on blast because everybody make mistakes. But I think you got to hold yourself accountable when you have several hundred viewers tuned in and you coming off with information that's not exactly true. From my understanding, they're going to be 8 rounds, 3 minutes apiece, with 10-ounce gloves. Now, if it's me, it seems like that's an even kill right there. You know, this is a boxing match that's even kill right now. You're going the allotted time in between. You're not going 2-minute rounds. You're going 3 minutes, and you're going 8 rounds. I mean, come on. That's good. That's good for Logan Paul. This channel put out that he fought KSI twice. He did not fight KSI twice. They're not wearing 12-ounce gloves. And if you hear this, this PC, don't get upset because you speak on something, and I have to just tell you that I listen to different people's podcasts, and I just want to see what everybody has to say. But when you have several, 100 viewers tuned in and you're giving false information, I mean, just do a better job. Pay attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, this fight with Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul is a big deal to certain people. It may not be this fight right here per se, but I feel something else is brewing on the horizon. I think tomorrow night something may happen that it may be by chance that Logan Paul comes out the victor. Not because Floyd Mayweather lost, but for something else. I said this the other day. I just feel like it's a 2-for-1 special going on here with this chicken dinner. You know what I'm saying? You got white meat, dark meat. It's a 2-for-1 special that's going on with this right here. Because peep this out. Jake Paul has a fight with Tyron Woodley. Logan Paul has the fight with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is definitely the bigger name. As you're looking at this, Logan Paul is supposedly getting paid $250K compared to his brother $650 for stepping in there with a mixed martial artist. How does that work? Let me break some other shit down. Look at the first fight. Logan Paul fought a YouTuber. And I think he did better numbers than his brother Jake. His brother Jake went in there against another YouTuber named Gibb, right? So the only other, Logan Paul has some legitimate boxers on the fight card when they fought on the zone. And then Logan Paul fought a couple of months after that. Like I said before, no one was calling for Jake Paul. No one was calling for Jake Paul after the Logan Paul fight. No one was really doing that. They just know that KSI and Logan Paul linked up. They had a beef, and they was going to settle it. It's a lot that we learned about that fight. That both of these guys can go in there and fight a little bit. But we found out about Logan Paul is his gas tank, is running on regular. You know what I'm saying? Not diesel, regular. Not premium unleaded, but regular. I hope that's changed. I haven't seen too many videos of him out there pushing pavement like Floyd Mayweather. And then also I'll take in consideration that he lost. That was a sanctioned boxing match between him and KSI. Sanctioned. His brother Jake Paul, sanctioned boxing match. Pandemic kicks in. All of a sudden, the Paul brothers comes back up to the surface. Why? Because Triller introduced themselves. Triller comes on the scene. And all of a sudden, Jake Paul is back in the run. Like, it's kind of backwards because I would have felt that Logan Paul would have had a go with somebody like Nate Robinson. If they're weighing somewhat the same weight, 190 pounds, I'm just wondering why Logan Paul wasn't on there, right? So Jake Paul knocks out Nate Robinson. He's 2-0. People walking around like he knocked out Joe Frazier. He gets another fight with Ben Askren, who's a mixed martial artist who was a champion over in one championship in Bellator, who was the only fighter within the trade. Listen up for those of you that talk mixed martial arts and don't know shit about mixed martial arts, right? He was traded for Demetrius Johnson. He came over there and fought Robbie Lawler first, went through adversity, took some hard punches, but he survived. Then he stepped in there at 19-0, and he was defeated by Jorge Masvidal in 5 seconds with a flying knee. All right. He returned quickly and decided to play around on the ground with Damian Maia and ended up being submitted. Ben Askren took it upon himself to take his time off and have a hip replacement. He had hip problems for quite some time, so he had a hip replacement. And then who knows how long he was in training, or if he was even in training before he got the call to fight Jake Paul. So, like I said before, his open workout looked pretty decent until he got in the ring. And that shit was almost like asking Peter Pan to fight for a can of peanut butter. I mean, he had that old freaking antiquated boxing style. That shit was ancient. And I was saying, damn, he might be in trouble. So the first right hand, the over right hand, because them Paul brothers love to load up on the right hand. Watch what I tell you tomorrow. The Paul brothers love to load up on that right hand. He slipped underneath it. I was like, okay. And then Jake Paul waited till he was on the inside. Some of the same shit Berlanga was doing. Boom. He threw another right hand. He slipped underneath it. I said, all right, cool. He's paying attention, Ben Askren. He's paying attention. And then the third one, man, the third one was placed a little bit different. And he hit him. He dropped. He defeated Ben Askren. Okay, cool. While at the same fight card, I'm seeing Tyrone Woodley on deck because he was cornering Ben Askren. So I get a chance to see Tyron Woodley. He's never looking out of shape. So, they kind of showed some different clips that was exclusive to whoever's seen him. I know we saw him at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but I'm not sure if they was broadcasted out. But Tyron Woodley was over there watching Jake Paul get his hands wrapped, and you had J Love in there. You had what's the boxer name? Damn, I can't believe. Damn, Flores was in there, and two other people. So the conversation started between J Love. We already seen it play out. He was going back and forth with J Love. He said he was certified before he even stepped into the cage. Just a little note for those of you that was listening to a particular podcast. Just a little note. Tyrone Woodley was not just a wrestler, and then he changed over to the UFC. You can't just do an injustice to mixed martial arts, especially in this scenario where you have a former 5-time world champion who is now stepping into the boxing ring. You have to do your fans a better service than that, especially if you are speaking to a larger audience. Tyron Woodley was in Strikeforce first. And I'm hearing that Tyron Woodley is so bulked up and everything. I get in that at the end. But anyway, J Love said, you ain't did this right here. And he was saying, he was certified or whatever. And J Love and him was going back and forth doing some, trash talking. And, Jake Paul kind of got involved and saying his tidbit. The one thing people understand about the Paul brothers, they feel that they can fight just a little bit. But Tyron Woodley, a certified 5-time world champion, absolutely official. So now after that fight, he finished Ben Askren in the first round. He says next, I don't know who he talked to or how long it took, or was it already in place, but Tyron Woodley is next in line. Tyron Woodley, the same Tyron Woodley, 5-time world champion, 19-7-1. 19-7-1. He is legitimate mixed martial arts world champion. If you look at his photo, he looks big. That was the photo when he wasn't in the UFC, y'all. So to hear somebody's talking about Tyrone is bulked up and everything, that picture is so long ago. That's such an old ass picture. Like Tyrone Woodley does not have that muscle mass at all. For you to explain that Tyrone Woodley punches would be shorter and he won't have extension and he's a pocket fighter, he's bulked up, so he's not gonna have good. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Tyrone Woodley has not been the way, as bulked up in his topology picture in a long ass time. Have you not looked at how his fights end? Have you not looked? You're trying to say that Tyrone Woodley is no way that he can go this amount of rounds. But have you looked at how he, even in his fights that he lost, have you looked? The man has went the distance plenty of time. Like I told you before, if you're going 8 rounds in boxing, that's 24 minutes. In increments of 3 minutes per round. Mixed martial arts is increments of 5 minutes per round. Championship fights are 5 rounds, 5 minutes apiece, which totals totals 25 total minutes. It's plenty of times Tyrone has been to a decision. Win or lose, he's been to a decision before. 25 minutes. So take, for instance, him being in a cage for 5 minutes straight per round and him going to a boxing ring for 3 minutes per round. I'm going to say on paper, he should have success. He should know how to maneuver himself around, even in a boxing ring with boxing gloves. He knows how to use some type of footwork. So you're going to have Novice up here speaking about his fight with Kamaru Usman. All his last 4 losses have been absolutely different. Kamaru Usman basically wrestled him. Unanimous decision loss. Gilbert Burns actually, did a lot of clinching, but also he was working with Santos, Derek Santos on his boxing, and he even dropped Tyron, right? Lost a unanimous decision. He goes in there with Kobe Covington. Kobe was getting the best of him. He was getting the best of Tyron. Rib injury in the fifth round. And you saying the man arms are too short and they won't get fully. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? It take everything. Like you're a good dude, but damn, man, come on, do a little bit more research, bro. And then his last fight, his fourth and final fight with Vicente Luque, the man lost round 1 from a Darce choke, a submission. What does that have to do with his arms? Anyway, the whole point I'm making is leading up to this push for the Paul brothers. Jake Paul is tied up with Tyron, who's a legitimate mixed martial arts world champion. And Logan Paul somehow is in there with Floyd Mayweather, the TBE. We know how many division champions Floyd Mayweather is. We know how many multi-time world champion. We know what he's been able to accomplish. So that makes it even more important that his legacy right now, even though I heard Floyd mention it, he say, this ain't going on my box rec. He made it perfectly clear. This ain't going on my record. So like I told y'all before, are we going to see a rematch between these two? So both of them can make more money, because Floyd Mayweather's making $10 million out this fight. What Logan Paul is making doesn't even come close. Let me get to this live chat. It doesn't even come close. $250K to $10 million. It doesn't even come close. King Mitch in the building. What's good? Back in Paul brothers. J8, salute to you. At one point, Woodley was the best welterweight in the world. Got to show him some respect. Yes, sir, man. Look, I'm hearing, man, it's just irked me so much. I didn't even really drop a comment in a live chat. But I wanted to say, bro, you don't cover MMA so much that you just looked at an old picture on Topology and say he's too bulked up and with that muscle carry. Like, do you know Tyron has been in wars? He's been the distance. Come on, man. Show the man, like Jay said, show the man some respect. J Love said he was a world champion when that happened. Yeah. J Love said, I've been there. I was a world champion. And then I remember people saying, when was J Love a world champion? When was he a world champion? Big Dog say, salute WCS. Salute to you, my brother. D Hodges in the building. What up, World Combat Sports and Chat? Salute, family. Salute to you, OG. How you feel, man? Mitt say, I picked J Love over Woodley in a boxing match all day. Woodley has reached the top of his sport. Unlike Love, though, boxing is different. I agree. We never would disagree that boxing is different than MMA. There's some mixed martial artists that actually pick up the sport of boxing seriously because they understand it, but they pick it up in a way that they're still competing in mixed martial arts. And like I always say, you have options when it comes to mixed martial arts. The training that people have in boxing, mixed martial arts, is different than you actually increasing the ounce of glove and transferring your domain over to a four-corner ring. It's a different type of punching style you have, period. Period. The way you set up your combination of mixed martial arts is depending on who you're fighting. They are capable changing levels, kicks, takedowns, elbows, spinning techniques, kicks. It don't matter. So the boxing is a little bit different in mixed martial arts. The striking. But when it comes to boxing, indeed, if J Love was to step in there with Tyrone, I say J Love will box his ears off. It doesn't matter if Floyd is offering to train him or not. It'll take more than a couple of months to get ready for him. J8, what up? D Hodges, Big Dog, what up? He looked way bigger. Absolutely. You know, J Love is much bigger than Tyron. Tyron's heaviest weight class that he fought in the UFC. I'm just talking about his last organization promotion he fought for was welterweight. Floyd would keep stealing that money till somebody stops him. You know, hey, look, check this out. J8. Who gonna stop Floyd in exhibition matches? This man got received $9 million for a couple of minutes with Tenshin Nashikawa, and he's about to go ahead and fight Logan Paul for $10 million. He's about to go fight an exhibition bout for $10 million. He said he made $30 million just off sponsorship alone during the week. So he's making a total of $40 million off an exhibition bout. Are you serious? Are you serious? Somebody tell me, is he serious? He's about to make 30. Look, 30 off sponsorship and 10 in the ring. Man, y'all telling me Floyd ain't winning? God damn. It's only certain fighters in MMA that can cross over and be effective in boxing. Yes, sir. I mean, that goes without saying. You're right. It's only certain fighters in MMA that actually has more of a boxing background, or those individuals like Heather Hardy, Amanda Serrano, Holly Holmes. Who else came over from boxing? I know some more people that came over from boxing. Then what was his name? I'm not talking about James Toney. James Toney didn't cross over to mixed martial arts to train and stuff like that. James Toney just came over there for a paycheck with Randy Couture. But give it up for Ray Mercer. Ray Mercer left boxing and was training mixed martial arts. And he actually went in there and knocked out Tim Sylvia. Legit, official. 4-ounce glove. Ray Mercer put that stick on Tim Sylvia and knocked him out. When would Jake Paul fight someone his size? Better yet, when would Jake Paul fight an actual boxer? That's a good question. And I'll get to that. We'll talk on that for real. D Hodges. We're talking about boxing and MMA. D Hodges say Ronda Rousey WWE. That is scripted. No doubt about it. That is scripted. Back to the Paul brothers, though. Logan Paul is 0-1 right now in his professional boxing career. Is it potentially a fight with Floyd Mayweather that Floyd can return in a rematch and fight Logan Paul if he loses tomorrow night? I believe wholeheartedly yes, because it wouldn't matter to Floyd Mayweather. It's not going on his record. And I truly don't think he cares. I don't know, man. It's hard to read. It's a hard push for these two fighters, being that they two white fighters at that, who are YouTube sensations. And we have boxing networks who are picking this up. So you know what happened? You know what's going to happen. Just like Conor McGregor, they're pushing these kids hard. They pushing them both hard, man. They're pushing it hard. I'm just trying to find out, what's the outcome? What's the plan, the plot? What is it? I feel it. I feel something. I know a lot of people say, oh, Floyd going to go in there and box. I'm not saying Floyd's not going to box his ears off. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is It's a 30-pound weight difference. We're talking about young lions, right? Jake and Logan Paul is young in life. I will never say their boxing skills, even at that point, their boxing IQ to catch Floyd Mayweather is impossible. I can't say it's not impossible. It's impossible for Floyd Mayweather to be caught. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's highly possible. I understand that Floyd understands truly his skill and everything. And if you asking me, I'm going for Floyd Mayweather, and I'm confident he can get the job done. But it's boxing. It's a lot of shaky stuff going on with the circus acts. You know what I'm saying? With the extracurricular entertainment. And this is it. This is the exhibition that's going on. But then you have Jake Paul, who's fighting on Showtime, and he's fighting Tyron Woodley in a boxing match, in an actual boxing match. Why didn't they put Floyd Mayweather on a boxing match? Why not? Why not? Like I told y'all plenty of times before, you can get your license 0-0 off the couch, put down the PS5 and go in there, pass the medicals, get your eye test done, all this other shit, HIV test, get that shit done, come in there, get your license, you ready to fight. If they're fighting 8 3-minute rounds with 10-ounce gloves, why isn't it a sanctioned boxing match? You can't say Floyd at 44 years old is too old. You can't say that. You cannot say that he's too old for this to be a boxing match. Why isn't it a boxing match? If Jake Paul is fighting Tyron Woodley in a boxing match, you're steadily building up Jake Paul's record with individuals who's not even skilled, undersized, and all that. And he's 3-0 right now. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Ben Askren was nowhere close to weighing to what Jake Paul was, but he still was able to step in the ring with him. What about Nate Campbell? You think Nate Campbell was around 190 pounds? But yet this man has Nate Campbell on his record. You're listening to someone who's seen it from the amateur level all the way up to professional. They can make, they if they want to, if they truly want to, they can cut some corners. They can absolutely cut the corners to make the money happen. I've seen it so many times before. If a fighter is overweight or they pick the last minute opponent, the fighter is overweight from last minute. The fighter weighs in by itself. His opponent is made aware, hey, your opponent weighed in at this, but his opponent will say, okay, I don't care what he weigh in, I'm gonna win anyway. I'm the A side, I'm gonna win anyway. I'll still beat his ass. But his opponent is crazy overweight. He might be 7 pounds over. He's still fighting though, because he's the better boxer. So when they put on trunks and gloves and go in there and fight, it's just like every day. Ding, dang, boom. They go at it. A side, B side type of noise. But I'm wondering, is this fight predetermined? I'm very, very curious if this fight is predetermined. It may not even be a fact that Floyd Mayweather gets knocked out or hurt or anything like that. It can be some freak injury after the 4th round. They put in enough rounds and then the fight has to go to a scorecard. I don't know. It's just a lot that goes into the speculation of why Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather isn't fighting a boxing match, but yet the rules are similar. Like if you're going to come in there with trunks and shoes on, and you're going to have, instead of 12-ounce gloves, you're going to have 10-ounce gloves. and you're going to have 3-minute rounds, if that's even the case, then why isn't it a legitimate boxing match? That's all. I'm pondering this shit. I don't do the conspiracy bullshit, none of that. I don't know if you saw the none. I'll get to that later, man. I can't do it. I get off track doing that shit. But I'll definitely download the picture so y'all can take a look at it. Hold on. Let me see. D. Hodges King salute. Logan Paul shouldn't waste energy swinging for Floyd's head. Aim for the body. That way, even when the punches don't land clean, they have some effect. True. You're absolutely right on that. There has some effect. Remember, McGregor hurt Floyd with a body shot. Well, if Logan Paul is smart enough to dig to the body with Floyd early and break him down, if he has success with breaking down, then we can talk about it. But we're just curious to see how it all plays out. We're just curious to see how it's all going to play out with Logan Paul. Because he can talk all the shit he want outside of the ring, but we all know he isn't as experienced as his brother Jake Paul. Logan Paul isn't as experienced. His brother has fought recently against Nate Robinson and Ben Askren in front of the cameras and shit. Logan Paul has motherfucking KSI, and that's without a rematch. And he lost. Do y'all think it's a possibility for this shit to be fixed? You tell me. Dealing with boxing and what you know about the surprises, do you believe it's a possibility for this shit to be fixed? I'm gonna do some research because I'm trying to see if they just bullshitting us on this, cause BoxRec has this shit different. I need to hold on for a second. Cause I could have sworn different. So if Logan Paul and KSI fought twice, why are they only showing him with one loss? Unless they wanted to say, okay, the first one was just the exhibition. Why are they not giving him 2 losses? So basically, if Logan Paul did indeed, from what I'm looking at, fight KSI twice, which I didn't think he did because it's showing once. Or they only fought one. They only fought one that was sanctioned. I wouldn't totally understand why that would be the case though, because they fought at the end of 2019. So the first one they didn't sanction, but the second one they did, where KSI won a split decision. Anyway, I'm getting off topic with Logan Paul. If indeed he did lose twice to KSI, one was in an exhibition and then the other one was in a sanction, he's 0-2. He's down 0-2. So right at this time right here with Floyd Mayweather, he has to win. Logan Paul has to win this fight tomorrow. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Logan Paul has to win. Because how are they going to make money off this cat? He can't just leave this. He talking about he's going to be the best boxer ever. He's going to shock the world. He's not going to give Floyd a rematch. If you fought KSI twice and lost, you have to win this. You can't go down 0-3. I fear Floyd will break hand on this big kid. That's a good point. Floyd has fragile hands. That's a good point. But I always look at Floyd on how smart he is. He knows how his hands is. You know what I'm saying? He's smart. You know how he can not break his hand. He go to the body first. Because I truly don't believe the Paul brothers are a body, work that core enough. Floyd has shown us that he is super prideful and cares immensely about his O. I doubt he'd take an L from this kid in some kind of weird deal, especially for 10 million purse. It's not just a 10 million purse, Mitch. It's for him basically getting a second go around with Logan Paul to set up a potential fight with Jake Paul. At this point in time, they need to build up these Paul brothers somehow, some way. I know somebody told me that they can lose 5-6 times and people still gonna come see them fight. That's not exactly the case. Like, this is a wave right now. This isn't something that you nail into the foundation and put in cement and it's just gonna be there for a minute. This is just a wave. This all this is right here. You can't tell me that Logan and Jake Paul is going to continue to lose, and then you have people continue to pay them $250K. He has to build upon that. His brother's already up to $650 or something that he made off Triller versus Ben Askren. So they have to build off that. Like, you have to build off $250K. Floyd is Floyd. He's going to make his money. There's a possibility for it to be fixed. There's always a possibility in boxing. Shit is shady as fuck. No possibility of Floyd taking the L, though. Maybe a no contest or DQ or some bullshit like that. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be something crazy. It's going to be something crazy. But I'm looking at it like Logan Paul cannot take an L right now for them to build up this potential match. I don't see it happening. It has to be something else to it. It has to be something else going on with this match tomorrow that is going to continue to build up Logan Paul. Because Logan Paul right now is the brother that doesn't have the momentum. Like this press conference and saying all the bullshit he's saying, this is just to build up the promo for tomorrow night. They need to expound upon that after the fight is over with. So that there comes the decision. How does this fight end and where does it go from now? The one that needs all the help is Logan Paul, not Floyd. And I totally understand what you're saying, Mitch. He is prideful. Floyd isn't going to go in there and just take an L. He's not. That's the way I feel about him. I feel that he's not going to be the guy to go in there and take an L. But a part of me is smelling some bullshit. I'm just being honest. A big part of the boxing instinct on how it's been going lately is they trying to do anything and everything to get the ball rolling, to have people tune in to these fights and get paid. Boxing lost a lot of money last year in 2020. It looks like light heavyweight versus junior middleweight. Yeah, man. Absolutely, D. Hodges. Absolutely. I agree. It's a significant size difference. But I'll tell you from experience with watching grappling matches, BJJ tournaments, they have a division called the absolute division, like I mentioned before. You might have someone who's 120 pounds grappling somebody who's damn near close to 200. I've seen it happen. I've seen a grown man grapple a teenager. 2 different weights, 2 different ages. One was significantly heavy. The older guy was significantly heavy than a teenager. So I've seen a guy who was outweighed by 175, 180 pounds in a grappling match. So you're saying to yourself, oh, that's not punches. But you have somebody on top, on bottom, whatever. You have to push that weight around. So it's tough either way you look at it. With boxing, does Logan Paul have enough skill set and IQ without being too overly nervous? Because he is nervous. He's stepping in there with a named boxing legend. When the bell rings, he's gonna be nervous. So either one or two things gonna happen. He's gonna try to go in there and knock Floyd out in the first half of the first couple of rounds and gas out, or he's gonna be patient and he's gonna try his hand at boxing Floyd, because somebody had the audacity, people. Listen to me. This coach that is training Logan Paul had the audacity to say that Logan Paul jab is that of Larry Holmes. He said Logan Paul has a jab to the liking or similarities of Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes had one of the best jabs as a heavyweight in his footwork. He give Logan Paul a stamp of approval to say his jab is like Larry Holmes. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You didn't even have that motherfucking jab like that when you was fighting KSI. Eddie Hearn promoted the second fight. Okay. Haney was on the undercard. Yeah, yeah. I never saw that first fight. Apparently it happened. First they wore headgear. The second, that's right. That's right. That's how much I know about the first fight. You're right. The first fight they did wear headgear. You're absolutely right. The second fight they didn't wear headgear. So I definitely stand corrected on that. But that's kind of, these guys back then, they was absolutely irrelevant until Logan Paul fought on the zone card. And yeah, he was on the undercard, whatever. I saw some skinny chick fight Yokozuna size man. Yeah. Shit all over the internet. Shit looked fake, but old girl won the fight. Big dude was taking it easy, should have whooped her. I mean, he's not gonna whoop on a little bitty, white chick like that. Else he won't make it out the arena. You know what I'm saying? He won't make it out. Let me look up this. I'm about to tell you another fight that was seriously outsized. It happens. Fight that Benson Smooth Henderson. He's 28-10 now, but at one time he was the UFC world champion. Look at his fight versus Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Brandon Thatch. Look at his fight versus Brandon Thatch. Brandon Thatch was 11-1 when he fought Benson Henderson. He was seriously. I mean, this dude was huge, and Benson Henderson put him in the RNC and choked him out in round 4. I mean, it all depends, man. Seriously, it all depends on how the skill set is played out with the person who's delegating it. Like, does Logan Paul have enough experience to come out and be patient and box Floyd without throwing away 2 rounds? Because with Logan Paul, I give him the same credit I gave Conor McGregor. I don't think both of them have pretty decent cardio. You know, they have to pace themselves. So being that Logan Paul has been out the ring for a long time, I don't think he works as hard as his brother Jake. And when are they going running? When are they running? I don't see them running on the, pushing pavement. Where are they putting them miles in at? I just saw a video the other day. Floyd was out running again. Are these guys just putting all their effort in the overhand right? Like, where are you running, man? Are you working on your core? Man, these coaches and trainers say any fucking thing before a fight. Larry Holmes. Yeah, he said Larry Holmes, he has a Larry Holmes jab, similar to Larry Holmes jab. I say, man, you're reaching. You're seriously reaching. It looked like Canelo versus Kovalov. Yeah, hey, D Hodges, even I wouldn't say it's a size different, but height. You know what I'm saying? People can say it's Canelo freaking Callum Smith. They can put that into the equation. They can put that in the equation. You know what I'm saying? They can put that shit in the equation. But I smell something real. I'm serious. I smell something. I smell something that's fishy. I smell some shit going down with this fight tomorrow. I got my senses, man. I say something is not right with this fight. Bars. Something isn't right with this fight. I'm just saying. I know it all looks good, but it just doesn't. It's not something that I care to believe that it's 100% authentic. I just don't. But anyway. I like how Floyd Mayweather is being interviewed by Brian Campbell. And Brian is so-called, he covered Floyd Mayweather, for several years. So he brought up the fact that, fighters that he didn't face when he was boxing. So, not to get Floyd Mayweather on that trip because he'll give you what you wanted. He say, like what fighters, when he start, not stuttering, but he just start putting that stop sign up there. He say, so, okay. Check this out. What fight are you talking about? Well, Antonio Margarita. Okay. I knew you was gonna mention this. So you talking about Antonio Margarita that was cheating, that had a cast in his glove? You talking about that, right? Brian Campbell tried to stir the pot up and ask the motherfucking hard question to try to freeze Floyd up. And Floyd gave him that Brian Kenny treatment. He gave him that Brian Kenny treatment, y'all. Stop it. Let me get to Chad Johnson. Chad Johnson is fighting Brian Maxwell. And once again, when I heard the name Brian Maxwell, I had to go in my archives because, I go to these things, right? I want you to see something. Like, it's not many people going to give a damn about it. But let's explore. Brian Maxwell, who is a mixed martial artist, bare knuckle fighter, now he's getting the opportunity to fight Chad Johnson, aka Ocho Cinco. When I heard that name, I automatically remember. I said, "Damn, I know this cat." Check this out right quick. It's what I'm saying. When you be in the trenches and shit, and you run into people, and they have these backstories. You have an opportunity to interview them. Look at this right here. Just for your view and pleasure. Hold on for a second. Let me get this down. Check this out right here. I interviewed Brian Maxwell at Bare Knuckle Fighting a while back. I interviewed him. So Brian Maxwell is now about to step in there and fight Chad Ocho. But this is my interview with him in Florida when I was covering Bare Knuckle Fighting. So of course I'm gonna assume that many people say, okay, it's just Brian. But hey, I'm just saying the grind don't stop. You know, you run into people like, shout out to Brian Maxwell, good dude, talented fighter. Chad Johnson made it clear that he was out of his element. You know what I'm saying? His element is football. This is boxing. So Coach Anthony, if you don't know Coach Anthony, I'm not gonna lie to you. Coach Anthony, he put out some damn good videos on boxing. I'm not gonna lie. This is my lead up, right? He put some damn good videos out. I'm not gonna lie, right? Very knowledgeable brother. So Coach Anthony get the mic, and he pretty much says, you know, in football, you used to be, you know, talkative, a garrulous individual, boisterous, and here you've been humble, and you know, pretty much he was leading to Chad Johnson keeping that same energy, and Chad Johnson basically said that he's humble because these guys actually do this for a living. They're dangerous, and this is out of his element. So his second question was to Brian Maxwell. And he asked Brian Maxwell, he said, hey, Brian, what do you think the round's going to be when you knock this guy out? Coach Anthony asked Brian Maxwell, what round you think you're going to knock this guy out? So the whole time I'm feeling, I'm not getting a good vibe with Coach Anthony, and, you know, poking the bear with Chad Johnson. So he got what he wanted. Chad Johnson said, hey, excuse me. What's your name? He said, Coach Anthony. He said, who you with? He said, I'm by myself. I'm a coach or whatever. He said, I want to fight you on the next card. And Coach Anthony said, okay, y'all heard that. Okay. He got exactly what he want. Imagine Coach Anthony fighting Chad Johnson on this next card. He would destroy him. Anybody who watches Coach Anthony's videos, Chad Johnson will get destroyed. He was just trying to save face and come back at Coach. Coach, he coaches boxing. He coaches boxing, Chad. I know it's good banter, but you ain't stepping in there with Coach. It's just not happening. But y'all check out the video, man. Real talk. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool how Coach Anthony, you know, ask him questions and say, you know, in football, you was this, that, and the other. You was boisterous. And now you seem so quiet and humble, almost to kind of imply that you seem frightful. You seem scared as shit. And Chad was being respectful. He said, okay, football is my element. This is not. But people started to gather like, okay, this is going somewhere else. And then we got it in the second question. He asked Brian Maxwell, when you playing, what round you think you're going to knock this guy out? And that's just so disrespectful. Coach Anthony, that was so disrespectful, bro. And Chad said, excuse me, who are you? What's your name? Who you with? When he said, I work for myself, I work for myself, this, that, and the other. I want him. I want to fight him the next card. PSA. Don't do it, Chad. He will embarrass you. He will embarrass you. If you thought about making this a couple of paychecks so you can come and go, you know, ride the wave just a little bit, okay, fine. But you may not want to come up here and act like you about to make some checks and you stepping in there with Coach. Unless Coach has disagreement that he gonna take it easy on you, he will absolutely embarrass you, Chad. Period. So somebody passed the word to Chad Ocho Cinco not to take that fight with Coach Anthony. He will absolutely embarrass you. I understand if Margarito went on to do great things. He was definitely a solid fighter, but he got his ass whooped by a few dudes that Floyd beat. So that's just fake ass revisionist history. So if you're saying it's revisionist history, also it can be antagonistic too, because Brian Campbell is known Floyd long enough. And for him to come up with something like a name of Margarito, and then Floyd counters him and said, oh, hold on. So you talking about the Margarito who got his ass beat by Sugar Shane Mosley? No, hold on. Who else? And then he said, Paul Williams. So Brian Campbell had these preconceived notions to ask these questions to get Floyd Mayweather riled up. It didn't work as much because he gave respect to Paul Williams. He said he wish him nothing but the best. He had an accident. But I think it was a lack of taste for Brian Campbell to bring Paul Williams, being that his boxing career ended prematurely due to a motorcycle accident. And it's no way that them two can even link up in the exhibition bout. So, you should have just left that shit alone, man. And by the way, if you don't know Brian Campbell, him and Luke Thomas somewhat got promotions. You know what I'm saying? They got promotions to speak on the sport. So they had to dive into something they wasn't entirely educated on to a point. You know what I'm saying? I heard them talk about mixed martial arts. But, when it comes to boxing, it's a whole nother genre. But when you peep this out, if you know how to interview, you can put the fillers in there, and you can use producer notes, and you go through your producer notes and read top to bottom on certain questions to ask, rehearse, remediate, and then you go up there and attempt to have a dialogue. The primary factor in that is confidence. That's all. You can be inept just a bit of a certain sport, but if they allow you to have producer notes and tell you to study this to the lead up of when you're supposed to talk to these fighters, you can do fairly decent. Like I have some videos I haven't put out, but I was able to interview some of the wrestlers that's headed to the Olympics in August. Yes, I went up to the training center down here, and the wrestling Olympic team is down here. I'm not one to know extensively about wrestling, especially when it comes to the Olympics, but I was able to interview some of the fighters. I could have done better if I actually had familiarization with them, but it just goes without saying. You have to do a little research, read up, and then try to latch on to some of the conversation that they having. And I'm gonna post those vids up probably this weekend or next week. That's just a little tidbit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So Erickson Lubin. If you heard Erickson Lubin speaking, let me pull up the vid. I like Erickson Lubin video with PBC podcast. Let me pull that back up.
It's time for Mike and I to go toe to toe.
Of course, they have advertisement every other second. Let me get to the Erickson Lubin interview.
Now you put up
doing anything to give Jermell trouble at all? And do you think his power was having an effect on the fight at all?
Sort of, kind of. I think so a little bit. I think he applied some pressure that gave Jermell a little bit of trouble. He had to figure things out. He had to box a little bit more than usual. I think.
Hold up.
Jake Paul took his hat, and then if he feels like then
Erickson, how has camp been ahead of your June 26th showdown versus Jason Rosario?
This is Erickson Lubin versus Jason Rosario, man.
I'm having a tremendous camp. I've been in the gym since my last fight. You know, when we got the announcement that we were fighting.
Y'all show Erickson Lubin some love now.
You know, turn things up a notch.
It's media at the end of the day.
Things the right way. You know, I'm having a tremendous camp.
I can care less who how many people tune in. It's boxing.
Well, I believe it because I'm not sure you and Coach Kevin Cunningham ever take a day off. It seems like even if you didn't have a fight coming up, you're always in the gym.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my job. You know, I get paid top dollar to, you know, go in there and just, you know, be in tip-top shape and get the fans, you know, a show and just be the best me. So, you know, Kevin, he's real strict on me, but he does things the right way. He don't just, you know, we're not just on full go mode all the time because, you know, we do everything the right way. You know, he knows when I need a day off. He knows when, you know, I need to turn things up. So, you know, June 26th, this is going to be my best performance.
very good. I presume you watched Rosario's fight against Jermell Charlo. What did you think of Rosario's performance?
He did all right. He did all right. You know, I don't got much to say about it. I seen him. I want the Rosario that fought J-Rock. I want the top Rosario. I want the best Rosario to come in there June 26th. It's on pay-per-view, so you know I want to give the fans what they want.
Do you think Rosario was doing anything to give Jermell trouble at all? And do you think his power was having an effect on the fight at all?
Sorta, kinda. I think so a little bit. I think you know, he applied some pressure that gave Jermell a little bit of trouble. He had to figure things out. He had to box a little bit more than usual. Yeah, I think he did all right, you know, for the time being. But then, you know, Jermell
Appreciate the D Hodges.
double jab.
Man, you in the building, hit the like button. I shouldn't have to tell you.
Jab to the stomach.
I shouldn't have to tell you. D Hodges shouldn't have to tell you. Appreciate you.
Well, you thought the knockdown was strange, you mean?
Yeah, well, I thought it was a little bit strange. But you know, before that, he's still down on the card because he, you know, got dropped like twice before that.
Yeah,
But,
true.
Jermell was boxing him. Pretty decent.
I like Lubin,
Now, you brought up
even though he had one of the worst KOs.
State Farm Arena at Atlanta. I know, you know, it's going to be a packed house in there.
Yes, sir.
Knowing that you're going to have that kind of audience, I mean, a bunch of stars sitting ringside and so forth. How pumped are you for that?
I'm stoked, man. I'm excited. You know, I fought Jorge Cota back in 2017 when Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia, when that fight was going on, and that was pretty big. And I can just imagine, you know, we got the fans back. It was after Corona, so this is gonna be real big. You got stars like, you know, you got Javante Davis and Mario Barrios going at it. So, you know, Tank brings the fans out. You know, I got my fair share of fans coming out, and it's gonna be big. It's gonna be a real big night. It's gonna be a packed house, and I'm ready to perform and just give them what they want.
Now, you put on a show. You damn near stole the show against Cota in 2017. Does having that big audience give you extra motivation?
Yeah, of course it does. It definitely do. You know, I got you know, family, friends, fans in the crowd, and you know, just knowing, just them being out there and cheering me on, and you know, every time I land a big shot, you know, you hear the crowd roar, and you know, that gives me energy. And then when I got somebody hurt, it helps me finish them.
No, in your last fight, you fought Tyrone Woodley, won a pretty clear decision. He did, however, land a big right hand late in the fight. It's been a long time since I think we've seen you hit that cleanly in the ring. Do you think dealing with that kind of shot helps you prepare for facing someone like Rosario?
Absolutely. You know,
See, these guys can ask questions like that. And I'm going to ask them the exact same question, and I'm going to word it the same way when I get a chance to interview them. Because they can ask a question like that, and they can finagle it and caress it and massage it to present it a certain way, and the boxers are answered. So it gets different. I've seen it on several occasions where certain fighters are asked questions by these guys, and then when somebody like myself or somebody else asks them a question, they'll say something like, "I'm focused on the fight for tomorrow night," and they give you a short ass answer. So if you're gonna have somebody that basically tell you Terrell Goucher landed a solid punch on you and pretty much, wobble you a little bit, but you zip it up real nice and say, well, do you think that help you in taking fights? Because this is a fighter who I like. I like Lubin, but he was knocked out cold by Jermell Charlo, and he was hurt by Terrell Goucher.
Terrell's he's a skillful fighter. He's an Olympian. He comes from the same pedigree as me. I feel like, that shot just woke me up and just, had me tighten up on my defense a little bit better. I feel like he's a good fighter, but this fight we plan on doing things a lot different. We plan on being a lot sharper. We plan on being a lot stronger. Just everything's leveled up.
Can you
to another level?
Put a pause in there and read some of the comments. Mitch say Lubin should beat Rosario. Styles make fights though. This is a great matchup at the super welterweight division. Who knows what Rosario show up though? Has shown significant inconsistencies. Always a big guy with power. He has showed inconsistencies. I agree. And also you have to look at the fact on the high, that he was on getting those belts off J-Rock and how he performed in there against Jermell Charlo. You can almost imagine the song in the background. Here comes the percolator. Here comes the percolator. Here comes the percolator. You think he was percolating in that motherfucker? He was on the throne. Here comes the percolator. Oh, anyway. Rosario power has to be respected. Jermell Charlo clinched more than I've ever seen him clinch before. He knew Rosario was dangerous to exchange with Charlo. Like, hell no. Tag, clinch, reset. Man, you have to be smart in boxing. Period. You have to be smart. And some guys just don't care. Like, say, for instance, Cruz. All right. What's his name? God damn it. Is it David Cruz? Let me look him up. He just don't care. Oh, I know who the look up. A guy that just don't care right now is this dude right here. Isaac Cruz Gonzalez. Isaac Cruz Gonzalez do not care to clinch, hold, nothing. Remember that name I told you. He fights at 135, y'all. He's lightweight. He smashed Diego Magnolino in 1 round. I was at the fight. It was absolutely brutal. Anyway, not to get off topic. Jay said it depends on how Rosario took that Charlo KO. He is chinny. So is Lubin. Yeah, both of them, man. It comes down to that moment, right there, Jay? It comes down to that moment. Like, who will land the big punch first? Who's going to land the big punch first? Is it going to be Lubin or Rosario? Lubin hasn't shown the IQ, savviness, and ring generalship of a Jermell Charlo just yet. And you know what? I'm gonna ask him some questions, man. I'm gonna write some. I'm retain some of the comments. And this month, when we have media day down here, I'm definitely gonna ask him some of the questions. You know what I'm saying? I have to ask him about his fight with Jermell Charlo heading into his fight with Terrell Goucher, you know, working himself back up the ladder. And having a, how you put that fight? Him and Terrell Goucher fight was pretty much what you would call, you know, they was pacing themselves. No one was really taking the lead in that fight. And then in the 10th round, he was caught, just like the guy said on here. Even with all that time you took off there, Erickson, you still was caught with the heavy shot. So what were you thinking at that time you got caught? You was caught with a heavy shot from Goucher when both of y'all was really taking it easy throughout the entire fight. Like y'all was playing it safe. That's the word I want to. It seems like both fighters were playing it safe. And then they tried to exchange in the later rounds. I mean, Rosario was looking like a kingpin after he snatched those titles from J-Rock. I agree. Black turtlenecks and dark shades with the gold chain. You ain't never lied, man. Rosario was in there looking like he was straight. You know, he just came back from Colombia and they said everything was nice. The shipment was on the way, goddammit. You know, Rosario was feeling star-studded on that motherfucker. He was feeling brand new, as they call it back in the day. Motherfucker feeling brand new up in this bitch. Who do y'all have winning this fight, though? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. As much as I want to go for Erickson Lubin, you know, and then I look at, you know, the fighting style of Jason Rosario and what he was able to do and the power he possessed with J-Rock. I just haven't really seen a step up in competition where Erickson Lubin has displayed that type of dominance. I didn't see that with Terrell Goucher, but we did see it with Jason Rosario, who had already faced defeat. I don't know with these two. If we want to go off recent activity, you will have to give the nod to Jason Rosario, of course. I'm talking about when it came to the big night and taking the titles. I'm not talking about him being stopped by Jermell Charlo. I'm just talking about on the big stage for the titles. Erickson Lubin has not been a world champion yet. Jason Rosario has. Even though he was stopped by Jermell Charlo, Erickson Lubin was stopped by Jermell Charlo. Both of them had a weird sense of knockout reaction. That's how I say this shit is weird. It's truly weird. Like Jason Rosario beat J-Rock, and Jermell Charlo defeated Erickson Lubin and Jason Rosario. When Erickson Lubin was knocked out, it looked like his soul was trying to leave. Then when Jason Rosario, looked like his soul was trying to leave too. Here comes the percolator. Here comes the percolator. Here comes the percolator. It's just like he was up there trying to pop when you was on your back when you was younger and you was trying to dance and shit. I say, how enough? What the fuck are we looking at? Motherfucking Rising? What horror movie are we looking at? Alien? Is this motherfucker about to give birth to an alien? Did Jermell Charlo awake something we didn't know that was inside Jason Rosario? I mean, because that's what it seemed like. D Hard says Lubin got caught with an uppercut, big difference. So you're right. I would give you credit to the point where he was caught by a right uppercut. All right. And he was shut up. He was shut down. But Jason Rosario was knocked down before. He was stopped before. And also he was down several times in the fight with Jermell Charlo. But the fact that Jermell hit him with a jab and they try to say in between breaths, I mean, he didn't swing a sledgehammer. It looked like Rosario got hit with a sledgehammer. That dude started to just shimmer and shit. Here comes the percolator. Here comes the percolator. Let me stop, man. Jason Rosario say, no, I'm not doing no interview with you. I heard you on YouTube. You think I didn't listen to what you said on you? I listened to you, what you said on YouTube. I did. I didn't appreciate it one bit. You say I percolate or something like that. I don't twerk. Okay, I don't twerk. I know chirk. Damn. I fuck with Isaac Cruz. Will give most 135 as major problem. Straight starch Magdaleno like your great uncle's blue jeans. For real. That motherfucker had that crease sharp. God damn it. He took that shit off the ironing board. The motherfucker stood straight up. Look, Magdaleno couldn't even fall. He was hitting with so many body shots. He had Magdaleno standing up in the corner. And the crazy part about it, Magdaleno actually caused, Magdaleno actually cost me an interview with Austin Dulé, because I was there and I said, in the hallway, I was interviewing Magdaleno. I said, hey, I was waiting on Dulé, but they was all nervous and bullshitting around. But hold on for a second. Isaac Cruz, man, matter of fact, let me get back Magdaleno. I told Magdaleno I don't think Austin Dulé can handle his aggressiveness, you know what I'm saying, his pressure. And I was right. He had success against Austin Dulé, and he ended up giving another L. But I guess Team Dulé heard what I said. They wouldn't give me an interview. I didn't really care because I just know what I've seen. I know that Austin had problems before, and his corner was, trying to pull the cord. So with this Magdaleno, he had problems too. But anyway, getting back to the task at hand, Isaac Cruz destroyed Magdaleno. Destroyed him. Look, Isaac Cruz, I don't even want to put him in the category of Tyson. At least Tyson moved his head a little bit, and he worked behind the jab just a little bit. He had that hook to the body uppercut, that hook uppercut. Isaac Cruz just motherfucking walked through the front door. He throwing everything, and the dude has a gas tank. Crucial. D Hard just say I got Lubin. Isaac Cruz is crucial, dog. Mitt say I got the Tower Inferno over both of them niggas. Look, I'm gonna tell you from me seeing Sebastian Fundora. Charlo knocks him out. Jermell Charlo knocks out Sebastian Fundora. Believe what I'm telling you. Charlo is a much better fighter than Nathaniel Gallimore that stepped in there. Some of the fighters, of course, that stepped in there, like I always say, Jamonte Clark, I felt he had the best game plan against Sebastian Fundora, and they didn't give him the nod. You know what I'm saying? You see Daniel Lewis, who was short, had a disadvantage in height, of course, and reach, and he was able to touch up Fundora real good. But Jermell Charlo matched up against Fundora. If they ever fight, Charlo knocks him out. Remember, I told you that. Charlo knocks out Sebastian Fundora because Sebastian loves fighting on the inside. And some of the punches, like if you watch the Nathaniel Gallimore fight, he was throwing that no-look left hand, and it was landing. But along with that, if you can't hurt Fundora, he's going to continue to come. He's going to continue to damn throw his punches. He's going to stay on the inside. He's going to overwhelm you. And you gotta have the know-how to know when to create space. But the one thing about creating space with a fighter with arms as long as a motherfucking street light, shit. Goddamn. You really have to know how to box him. You truly have to know how to box Fundora. So we'll see how that works out, man. But I believe Jermell Charlo knocks out Sebastian Fundora. I truly do. I truly do, man. Rosario was on his Scarface flow. He had a random dude holding up his belts. Yeah, he was feeling himself, man. He was brand new. He was swaggadocious. You know what I'm saying? Charlo never clinched and complained the way he did for Rosario. He got that thudding power. Maybe it was a tough fight and he felt some of that power from Rosario. He's supposed to, you know what I'm saying? That was supposed to be a tough fight for him. After what we were seeing with Julian Williams, of course. Of course. Now J8, I don't even think Lubin will take a fight like that. And look, I don't even know if he'll take a fight like this. Look, that's a damn good question for me to ask him. You know what? I'm gonna ask him, would he want to step in the ring with Fundora? Because I know who he's trying to get a rematch with. Because I could have sworn he said he's supposed to get the winner of Charlo Castano. So I don't even think he's stepping in the ring with Fundora. I think he's more so concerned about getting past this fight with Rosario and then getting the winner of Mel Castano. Real talk. J8 Rosario paid that dude in pesos to hold them belts. Yeah, man, he did. You get threes. No. 4 pesos. That's it. 4 pesos. Hold them up high. Okay, senor? J8 Rosario pay. King Miss. Yup, that dude was back there straight faced with them belts. I ain't mad at him. I'm not mad at him, man. Rosario is dangerous and Lubin has fire alarm level on his chin. He's gonna have to get over that shit though. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to get over it. And y'all, hey Mitch, you didn't hear J-Rock? He said, stop counting fighters out just because they take a L, a L and they get stopped. Stop counting them out. Give them credit. That's what J-Rock told us before he was stopped. Before he was stopped by Jason Rosario. I like J-Rock, man. I got an interview from him on the street. He was on the street of NYC, man. He was chilling out there on the corner. It was Swaggy P, Zab Judah. Who else? Swaggy P, Zab Judah. Some other dude. I forgot who that was, man. But they was all out there talking, and then J-Rock was like standing up against the wall. So I was giving the interview, and then somebody came over there and grabbed him. Didn't even care he was in the interview or not. It was dark out. You know what I'm saying? So you know how it is over in NYC. Somebody grab him. Hey, you just let them grab him, man. Shit. What I'm gonna do? Hey, that was my interview. Stop it. Have some courtesy. No, it's not gonna happen. If I really want the interview, I say, my bro, let me continue to cook right here, get this done. Then you can get it, man. Clark already beat Fundora. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about, Jay? Enlighten me. Somebody enlighten me to what Jay is talking about. Clark didn't beat no Fundora. What are you talking about, bro? If you're talking about what the judges didn't give him, I agree with you. But as far as box rec, they just gave him a draw. So I agree with you on the consensus that Clark did defeat Fundora, but they didn't give it to him because they was trying to raise him. They didn't want to get that L. I think it had to do with the race card, man. For real. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Jamonte Clark beat Sebastian Fundora. Real talk. And look at Jorge Cotto. Jorge Cotto, gets stopped. He gets stopped by Sebastian Fundora. And that's the same fight they was talking about that Erickson Lubin had. Fundora would get hurt to the body. I think Charlo would definitely hurt Fundora to the body. I'm not sure that Fundora will have the opportunity to face Mel Charlo. The reason why I'm saying it is that Errol Spence has made it clear that he's moving up to 54. He has about 2 more fights at welterweight. So if he doesn't, of course, he's going to beat Pacquiao. But he doesn't get that Crawford fight, he's going to be moving up to 54. So I'm not sure if Charlo's going to hang out after this Castano fight, especially if he unifies for undisputed. I think he may potentially, if he stays down there for one, Errol Spence will still be at welterweight. He's just talking a little bit. He might stay down there to defend his titles. After that, he's moving to 60. Outside of that, Errol Spence should be in the building. And then we're going to have Erickson Lubin, Sebastian Fundora, Charles Conwell. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Tim Tszyu in the build. It's going to be so many 154 pounders. Jared Hurd, J Rock. I mean, it's 154 pound division is going to be lit in the next several months. For real. It's going to be lit, man. Keep an eye on Charles Bad News Conwell, man. He's on this card coming up too this month. The Tywin Inferno will sleep clock today. Are you just saying that because he just got stopped by Terrell Goucher, man? Man, you ain't showing no love to the competitors no more. You ain't showing no compassion. The man just was knocked out in the second round, and he said, "Oh well, so the Tywin Inferno will sleep." Of course, I mean, styles make fight, man. Style makes fights. But it sucks because how Mikey beat Easter got inside. He beat Easter, he was able to get a knockout in a knockdown in the third round. But Robert Easter had the box on his bicycle. You know what I'm saying? Rosario Ragdoll Rock. I wonder how J-Rock bounces back with Sugar Hill as his trainer. I will tell you because I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Hey, you see, y'all not giving me a chance to lay that surprise on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not giving me an opportunity to lay that surprise on y'all. But I'm going to ask that question. I want to see him in the building. You know where I'm going with it. You know, shawty. Believe me, stay tuned. I'm going to ask. Not only that, but if he's in the building, I got some answers, shawty, for real. And some plenty other people got answers too. Yes, sir. So if you don't use your range, you deserve what you get. Well, some people try to use their range, man. But if their opponent has other plans and their plan is more effective than yours, then the plan that you had initially and you got punched in the mouth, all that shit goes out the window. Mike Tyson. Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Derrick James is underrated. His fighters are exceptional, but his game plans and instructions in the corner be A1. Derrick James as a trainer is cool, but as a person, he's an asshole to me. I'm just keeping him 100. I ain't the only one who said that either. I'm talking for personal experience. Never met the guy in my life. His training, I give him a check mark. like you said, what he's been able to do with Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence. Salute to him. Real talk. But as a person, I think he's an asshole, man. I'm not counting them out, but once it happens, we have to consider it every time they step in the square, circle. If you prone to KOs, then that's what it is. Hey, we're gonna have to see what happened, man. Real talk. We're gonna have to see what happened. You know what I always say, prone to KOs. You know how you can have someone, and I use Roy as example. Roy beat Antonio Tarver, and then he ended up being stopped. He lost to Antonio Tarver. And then the third time they fought, he went the distance with him. But the way he was knocked out versus Antonio Tarver, people would say, damn, that's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that he can beat Antonio Tarver. His chin is this, that, and the other. He faced Glenn Johnson, and he had a problem. But when he faced Antonio Tarver for a third time, he went the distance. I guess it's all about the styles that make everything. You know what I'm saying? And some people, chin is prone to a knockout. Amir Khan, Tito Trinidad. Tito used to get knocked down all the time and get up. Hey, it happens. It all depends, man. Some of these fighters that get dropped, they get back up. They get even stronger. It's really the neurological system, not their chin. It's the neurological system. At Keen, if I was looking for a trainer, definitely be Derrick James. Charlo, more KOs. Wilder and Derrick James would be a problem. Perfect KOs, in my opinion. J8, I had him winning, but yeah, they gave him the L in reality. But they setting Fundora up to be a star, so Clark wasn't going to get the nod. I'm not sure how much Sebastian Fundora is going to be a star. I know he's going to probably be a world champion, right? It depends on who they put in there with him. I would like to see Jarrett Hurd face Sebastian Fundora. It's a guy who's pretty much almost as tall and lanky as Sebastian Fundora, but he's a light heavyweight right now. That's Gilberto Ramirez. He's tall, lanky, and this dude has like over 40 professional fights, and he's undefeated. No one talks about him. It's crazy. Gilberto Ramirez, it's crazy, man. This dude was champion at 68, moved up to 75, and no one really talks about him, but he's tall just like Fundora. So Fundora, I don't see him being this mega star, but he will be a champion. I don't know how he's going to fare at 60. The dude's arms are so long. I'm trying to see how his joints are going to hold up to boxing. His arms is so freaking long. He has to experience joint problems sooner or later. That's just reality of it. Like, this dude fights on the inside, outside. Fundora is a beast, man. Jay feels Clark beat the Tower Inferno. Many people feel that way. Fundora will stop him today, though. Yeah, true. I agree with that. I mean, he just got stopped by Terrell Goucher, so you have to look at it in that perspective. It all depends. He can't move up to Jermell, go to 168. Is that what they call that? It's that touch and go effect that's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting for motherfucking Maul Charlo to move up to 68. So male Charlo can move up to 60. So Errol Spence can move up to 54. They promoted their mom. They won't fight. That's why Jermell moved up to 160. He was bigger. It wasn't nothing else for them to do. Both of them had titles in the same division. So one of them had to move up. And we all know Jermell Charlo, as he always said, he's the big twin. So Mal Charlo moved up to 60 ahead of male Charlo. So we're curious to see how male Charlo, if he's able to unify this 54 division, who can he create a rivalry with? We're trying to see who the Charlos need to create a rivalry with somebody. You know what I'm saying? They need to create a rivalry with somebody that they can have 2 or 3 fights with that people want to see. Who can that be? This shit didn't happen with Gennady. It didn't happen with Demetrius Andrade. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe you can get Mar Charlo to create a rivalry with David Benavidez. Because to be honest, it would be great if he created a rivalry somehow with Canelo Alvarez. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. But how many people can get that Gennady Golovkin treatment that Canelo gave him? How many people? How many boxers can get that Gennady Golovkin treatment? Because Triple G is down there 60 waiting like a good old boy. And just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. I'ma sit down at 60 till Canelo come get me. Yeah, that's what he's doing, man. Triple G is sitting down at 60, waiting for Canelo to come. Hey, my friend, in payday? You want payday? Payday? Canelo, stop it, man. Stop it. You picked the right time to turn into a comedian. I know. You want payday? Payday. There's room for both Charlos at 60 for a small period of time. Just like they were at 154. True. Yeah, it is, because there's nothing going on at 60. So I'll take you on that, Mitch. I'll take you on that, because ain't shit going on at 60. And come to think about it, Mitch, that can shake up the 160-pound division and give that luster, that we're looking for. You know what I'm saying? We need a little twinkle in the 160-pound division with some new faces. So you're right. Male Charlo move up to 60 at the same time as his brother. Yeah. They're not fighting each other up there. You got Gennady, you got Andre, you got Murata. I mean, come on, you got plenty of people up to 60 that the Charlos can coexist at the same time. But once again, there, Mitch, we got 2 black fighters. Will they make that decision to do it again? But 2 black fighters understand that, hey, man, come on up, man. I don't have to be absent of the division for you to come make money. Come on up. They're not fighting one another. Mar Charlo is not fighting the Murata and Triple G and Demetrius Andrade. So why not? Male come up there and get that get. It's long overdue. Fight Demetrius Andrade. Mar Charlo talking about he might want to fight Gennady Golovkin, and that's turned out to be bullshit or whatever from Gennady. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but anyway, yeah, absolutely agree with that. Elder, what's good? Sugar Hill in the building. Absolutely. Sugar Hill, I got some questions. Yes, sir. Welcome to the Dirty. Akeem Mitch, what about Burley Brooks and Ahmad Rashidi? What is Derrick James doing for them? Look, we all know in the camp, the priority is what the priority is. I'm pretty sure they're going to get that love, and they are getting that love. You know what I'm saying? But right now, the 2 primary names is up there. You have 2 unified champions in the building. 2 unified champions in the building. They get the love. Look, I've talked to some boxers that left. Dylan Price, that was signed with TMT, they left TMT because they just didn't push them. They just didn't have anything. They wasn't their focus. They weren't the focus, so they had to leave. They had to redirect. He went from fighting on Showtime to regional cards right now until they build themselves up to sign with somebody that they can fight on bigger cards. Serious. It's certain fighters who leave certain camps or certain trainers because they just don't get no love. I don't know how many fighters I talked to. That's the case. Clark gets hit clean too often. I'm sure he upsets his corner frequently with the shots he's taking. He has all the tools. His best days are behind him. Do the warrior, though. I got sparring footage of Clark. I put it out there, but, you know, who am I? Who am I? He didn't get hit in sparring like that. And, of course, that was sparring. But he used his range well, and he was fighting long. he looked impressive in sparring. What he did in there with Goucher, yeah, his corner might have been frustrated. I didn't see him getting stopped in the second round. I just didn't see it, man. I'm going to be real. I just didn't see it, bro. I say this about to be a damn good fight with Jamonte Clark and Terrell Goucher. Hell yeah. And then Goucher made that shit look easy. Fundora versus Sergio Garcia is coming. That's a good fight for Fundora. Yeah, it's a good fight. If Sergio Garcia can find a way, you know, Sergio Garcia has to frame this fight not like everyone else. Like Donnie Marshall, he had the right plan to try to fight Fundora on the inside because his arm's so long. So, you know, with a tall, rangy fighter, you want to kind of close distance, take away their range. But when he was on the inside, he stayed there too long. And Fundora, the weird part about Fundora, he does have those extended limbs, but he can fight very, very well on the inside. Very well. He's very accurate and surgical on the inside. He ended up stopping Donnie Marshall. Sergio Garcia is going to have to frame this fight differently than the individuals who's walked in there, especially from his last fight with Cota, and see what he needs to do different. You know, even take a look at the success Nathaniel Gallimore had. Even though it was minimal, he had success a little bit. And that's going to be a good fight. I agree, L-Dub. You know, let's see how that shit works. I saw Clark get knocked out the ring, B-Hop style, and get back in there and keep fighting. Hey, man. L-Dub boxing, how would I know? That's a question for those fighters from what I've seen. Derek James is solid as a trainer. I can't speak to whatever you're alluding to. I mean, like I said, the champions and the ones that's making the money, they get priority from the trainer. You know, the other fighters that's building themselves up, they don't get that full-blown quality time. Mel might move up and call Maul out the way he acting. I tell people, the way you want to make some money, if you're the Charlos, the people come see, all you have to do is just listen. WCS them put the plan out there. Fight one another. Every time I say the Charlos should fight one another, I hear people saying, they promised their mom. They promised her they'll never fight. I'm telling you, if you promise your mom you never fight in the ring, why you fight outside the ring? So if you're fighting outside the ring, go ahead and take it in there and get paid for it. Because disrespecting one another via social media, man, go get paid. Mel will fight his twin before he fight Errol. I don't know, man. I don't know. You might be right because they don't get along as well. And I'm pretty sure Mel and Spence has built a rapport, a friendship, you know, a bond, being able to be two unified champions in the same stable. So you might be right. As much as they argue back and forth, you might be right. You might be right, man. He might fight Maul Charlo before he fight Arrow. D Hard just said L Dub salute. Yeah, man, that shit is ongoing, man. The Charlo brothers should fight. If they can't create a rivalry with Demetrius Andrade, Gennady, Yoda Murata, somebody, fight each other, goddammit. Fight each other. You have Maul Charlo with Running Shields and you have Mel Charlo with Derrick James. Fight. Fight, goddammit. Fight. Give us what we want to see. We want to see the Charlo twins and see who's the better. You say Maul Charlo, Mel Charlo been boxing longer than Maul anyway. So you say Maul Charlo, you say you the bigger twin, you big twin, and he little twin. The only way to prove it is fight one another. Give the fans what we are dying to see. I don't know why every time that shit is mentioned, somebody say, well, I think that's a bit disrespectful. You to want family. They're family. Man, family fight. Every time there's a holiday and shit, family fight. Family fight over all those things that that goes on behind closed doors. Cousin. You got that money that I loan you? Hey, cousin, you got that money you owe me? Oh, this nigga want to ignore me. Okay. Before you know it, boom, they out in the front yard fighting. Family fight all the time. Brothers, sisters, all that. Believe me. They fight all the time. So we just need the Charlo brothers to sign a contract and give the fans what we want. That's all. He said, L-Dub, I don't recall saying follow anyone. Saying I followed anyone. But cool. I don't know what you're looking for here. But are you insinuating Derrick James is training those fighters poorly? I don't know. I thought you followed Derrick James. So what point you making, L-Dub, on Derrick James? What point you making? What point you making? Be more specific, man. What point are you making with that? Are you saying he followed and what he should know, or are you telling us something within the camp? Be specific, man. No riddles, none of that. So we can keep the talking points going. Maybe those other fighters don't have all the tools. A great trainer still can't fight for you come fight night. That's true words. Derrick James cannot jump in there and do anything for his fighters. He couldn't do it for Errol Spence. He can't do it for nobody he's training. He couldn't do it for Jermell Charlo when he lost to Tony Harrison. He couldn't do it. That's the Sean Porter narrative saying Derrick got fighters that would be great with or without him. Mel Charlo style changed with Derrick. Yeah, Running Shields and Mel Charlo. I mean, Running Shields and Derrick James, two different trainers. It's good that Mel Charlo made the decision to relocate, under tutelage of Derrick James, along with having Errol Spence in there to get that work. I'm pretty sure Errol Spence and Mel Charlo has sparred several times. I'm pretty sure Errol, I think, has sparred Maul Charlo. It's good work regardless. Seriously, it's good work. I see Chad. That's Chad Mendez. Chad Mendez in there with some boxing training. Now that's a short guy right there. I wonder if he plan on trying to come to the boxing ring since they showing boxing clips of him. Families fight, but it's usually a quick ass whooping, a skirmish, not 12 rounds. No, you're right. It's a quick ass whooping, a skirmish, or a freaking trigger. You're right. You're right. A skirmish can be running around the corner not to get shot in the ass. Who out there playing around with them guns? Who out there firing them guns? Hey, come in here. Mama, come over here. He done shot. Man, family do that shit all the time, man. Stabbing motherfuckers. Out there stabbing motherfuckers, man. Real talk. That shit has to stop. Oh shoot, who was that? Hold on for a second. Yeah, damn DC. Oh man. Anyway. Okay. L Dub, you ain't gonna. I thought you would have answered by now, L Dub. What the hell? Damn. No response. Y'all fought my brother damn near every day. Yeah, man. Family fight all the time, man. I mean, you can't be disrespecting each other in social media. And then until my mama said don't fight one another. I mean, you fighting in front of the entire world for free. Lace them up and get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? What brothers fight each other? What brothers ever fight each other? Shit, all the time. Brothers fight each other all the time. Most brothers fought each other at least once. But the Marquez brothers were good. If they haven't, then one of them knows he'll get his ass whooped. I wonder who that one is, though. I wonder if it's male or is it Maul. I just don't understand. Which one is it? Which one is it? Maul or male Charlo when it comes down to it? You know what I'm saying? What y'all think about Jared Hurt Luis Aries? You know, Aries is up there at the face-off today. Let me pull my clips up here. Aries was up at the face-off today talking mad shit. Yes, sir. Like, hold up. Wow. So, what y'all think about this fight between Jared Hurd and Luis Arias? Because there was a lot of trash talk going on between these two today at the face-off. You know what I'm saying? Like, Swift it's almost like he hasn't been quite the same since J-Rock. I'm not saying he's one of those guys that was defeated and he lost a part of his heart. I'm not saying that at all. I believe we're gonna see a damn good fight tomorrow. But even when I saw him in person, I can't say he switched it up, because even when Jermell Charlo was in his ear all the time, he acted the same way. I have to give him that. But I just wish he wouldn't have led us to believe that he was going up to 160. You know, I'm asking him all them questions. He's like, well, y'all got to stay tuned. Y'all got to look, boxers have to get out that, man. Just tell us the info. Drop it to us. Just let us know. Like, real talk. Let us know, shouty. If you stand at 54 moving to 60, you could have told everyone that was in the media scrum if you were standing at 54 or not. But you're making it seem like, hey, you know, I got some news coming. Y'all just stay tuned. And then he stays at 54. Now you have Luis Aries, and we'll see how that fight goes. But we're looking for the Arizlandy Lara. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for that old unified champion, Jared Swift Hurd, who people used to say that was a weight bully. I think one lost more. Blueprint in the building. Blueprint Sports. What's good with your salute? You covering Shields versus Elkin next week. How you think Shields will hold up? I will absolutely speak on this just because, you know, I'm speaking on this this undercard presser that was today. And, you know, the bigger name that's on it is Jared Hurd when it comes to boxing. You know, also you have Johnson and Brian Maxwell. And then also, let me bring this shit up. I will answer your question though, Blueprint. Give me 1 second to pull this other clip up. You got the man himself, Badu Jack, with a last-minute replacement. You know, they saying that they already knew that John Pascal was dirty. So, yeah. He had a last-minute replacement. So, about Carissa Shields, man. I look at it like this, like I broke it down before. Elkins haven't been in the cage for a minute since 2019. That was her last fight, I believe, in the cage. And then she had nothing but grappling matches periodically from that year all the way up to now. They really don't say anything about Brittany Elkins' age, but she is a grappler. She does have mixed martial arts experience. We all know Carissa Shields is a highly decorated boxer. What she's learned out there with AT&T, I just don't want to see no buffoonery where she comes in here and head kick Elkin and does some unreal shit. And you know, Elkins gets stopped in the first round and everybody's jumping up and down. Me, I look at mixed martial arts not in a way to hate on Shields, but I've seen individuals with her lack of experience step into the cage and they didn't fare well to a point unless they faced another fighter that was quite inexperienced like them. Shields has the hands now. She has 4-ounce gloves. But in mixed martial arts, there's a lot of things that can happen to Shields that she's not naturally used to. The feints, the head feints, the foot feints. Because the foot feints in mixed martial arts are definitely different than boxing. Your foot feints, it can set them up to shoot in for a takedown. And we're talking about a grappler. If a grappler get a hold of Shield, you know, it's not all swinging wildly and everything and think, you know, you're going to knock them out. Once they get you to the ground, they're going to stay close, chest to chest. So I'm just curious to know how that's going to transpire. That's it. We know Carissa Shields has very solid boxing and she has quick hands. Will she throw a kick on a grappler? It'll be ill-advised. Will she sweep the outside and try to draw her opponent in so she can catch her with an uppercut or a cross or straight? We'll see how it happens. Because look, Brittany Elkins is pretty much timid too to walk in on somebody with the boxing pedigree as Shields. She's not gonna just rush in there and be reckless and get knocked the fuck out. Shields may have only 2 knockouts to a resume, but 4-ounce gloves, she's dropping to 4-ounce gloves. And with her hand speed, and if she, is patient and calm enough, she can catch Elkin and she can drop her. I believe it. But understand this too. These mixed martial artists is used to being hit with 4-ounce gloves. Boxers aren't. I know she's going to feel like she's a lot quicker. She's like, oh shit, these 4-ounce gloves. I know she's been practicing with 4-ounce gloves. So, oh man, these 4-ounce gloves are nice. I feel way, way quicker. But understand the foot feints and all the different type of feints you can get in mixed martial arts can set up a variety of things. Spinning technique, heel kicks, all that. So I would say Elkin is more experienced than Shields in the cage, but Shields is more experienced with her hands when it comes to striking. But I want to see if she's gonna, use her legs. She may even clinch. I wouldn't advise her clinching with a grappler, and I wouldn't advise her to throw a kick with a grappler like Elkin, who's competed in grappling matches. I wouldn't do it because once you get Carissa Shields on the ground, I'm surprised if Carissa can make it back to her feet. I'll be surprised. Seriously. I'll be absolutely surprised. But she's out there with the best. Jackson Wink, John Jones, Holly Holmes, Karate Hottie, Michelle Waterson. I mean, she's out there with some of the best in the game of mixed martial arts. So that's all I'm saying, man. It's going to be interesting. Carissa goes in there and handle her business. People are going to look at her like, okay, all right. She's now got that first win. She's 1-0. Who's next? Because she's trying to be a champion in boxing and PFL and mixed martial arts. When I initially broke this to you, right? I told you that the UFC, they wouldn't be the ones who baby Carissa Shields coming over there. Just like they didn't baby what's his name that came over there and got subbed out by Mickey Gall. They didn't show no love to him either. But PFL, on the other hand, and she's fighting at 155, I'm very, very curious to how they're going to raise her up to get a belt. If she stays around long enough to get a belt at PFL, Professional Fighters League. Like, I'm really curious to see how they're going to raise her up. And don't forget, you got Kayla Harrison in there too, the Olympian. Judoko. I don't know, man. Herb been out for a while, going through hard times with passing of his pops. I hope he recovered from J-Rock outclassing him. Weight bullying, got bullied. Hopefully he bounces back good for the division. He is, man. He hasn't been the same fighter since J-Rock. But I thought J-Rock was very, very, accurate. He was shining that night. Like, J-Rock was a diamond that night in boxing. For real. He put on a superb performance, man. What is Elkin ground game like? Because I wonder how Shields would do if that fight goes to the ground. Well, she competes in grappling tourneys. And what I know about that, hey, you can be a mediocre grappler, so to speak. I'm talking about average, okay, average, and still be pretty lethal when it comes to fighting somebody inexperienced like Carissa in the cage. You know what I'm saying? You can still be lethal and very thorough with somebody that's inexperienced. But also, like I said before, Carissa Shields is going to be wearing 4-ounce gloves, and she could potentially catch this girl on the chin and put her to sleep. It can happen. We thought that might be the case with James Toney fight Randy Couture back in the day, but Randy Couture didn't waste no motherfucking time. He said, I ain't gonna box with you. He changed levels, takedown, and he played around until the referee stopped it. They didn't allow James Toney to take that much damage. But the difference between James Toney and Carissa Shields is that Toney was coming over there just for one night to fight Randy Couture. Carissa Shields is attempting to make this a career. Juggling the career as a mixed martial artist and boxing. I heard a channel or two say, oh, she should be the first to do this, that, and the other. Listen, Heather Hardy's did it. I seen her in some wars. I seen Heather Hardy take a shin kick to the nose, busted her shit wide open, and she still wanted to fight. Tough girl. Amanda Serrano, her MMA career is just, it's like throwing mayonnaise on the wall and just let that shit just drip down the motherfucker. I mean, she's not the most, but we're not talking about the entertainment value. I'm just saying she has ventured over from boxing to mixed martial arts. And she's not as entertaining, in my opinion, as Heather Hardy. None of them is entertaining as Holly Holmes. That was someone like an 18-time boxing champion. The way she transitioned over, and we all know she was the first one to beat Ronda Rousey. Yes, sir. I'm glad she's back, but if Shields was white, she'll be above Layla Ali. I'm not sure what you mean, but she'll be above. Like Clarissa Shields has did much more than Layla Ali, except the professional fights that she's won in the ring. I mean, when you talk about Carissa Shields, they always saying the first. She's the first. So, yeah, a lot of people don't want to consider her the GOAT because Ali has the name, but you definitely have to recognize the credentials that Carissa Shields has been able to accomplish. You have to salute her for that shit. I know her next fight is at 160. He plans to return to 54. I personally think he's been too big for 54, but I can't recall him missing weight. Would be much tougher than extended layoff. Go already above Layla. She is. Absolutely. She's already above Layla. And, you know, it's all about money as to why these two cannot fight. You know what I'm saying? It's all about money. It's not like Layla beat a bunch of legends. Shields got 2 gold medals. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're right. Old school versus new school. You know how stubborn they are. You know how stubborn they are, man. They don't want to give each other credit, but you have to give Carissa Shields credit from the AMs. You have to give her credit from the AMs, point blank. She don't have the best attitude, but a lot of boxers don't have the best attitude. That's just period. But when it comes to the AMs, she's a double gold standard Olympian. First and foremost, she's a Hall of Famer right now. If she was to just focus on MMA and never come back to boxing, she is a Hall of Famer. Period. Heard was J-Rock's virtuoso performance. Yeah, man. J-Rock looked his best. He gave the speech. I just want to say to the boxing fans, just because a fighter faces adversity in the ring, don't count him out. Don't say they're a bum. Don't look at them like they trash and get on here and disrespect the sport. We go through adversity. It's all about how we rebound. And, you know, it was inspiring. You know what I'm saying? That speech was inspiring. You're like, damn, J-Rock, man. He couldn't be touched that night. Like, J-Rock saw everything. J-Rock seen everything that night coming from Jerry Hurd. Few minutes later, he steps in there with Jason. I'm like, huh? I'm like the Yin Yang twins. Huh? What am I looking at? Huh? What am I looking at, Shouty? Like, help me. I wasn't expecting that. I thought J-Rock was going to go in there and give him that same car wash that he gave Jerry Hurd. It wasn't the B, man. It wasn't the B. Had me back here saying, huh? Mitch said, ooh, Mayo. Hold on for a second. You can't, what do you say? You can't think like that AJ became a bum until he got his belt back. You can't think like that. AJ became a bum until he got his belt back. I never said he was a bum. I never said he was a bum. I'm just saying what J-Rock said. I never, you know, I never said that AJ was a bum. I mean, that's not even my terminology. You know, skid mark's a bum, but I never said, you know, I don't call fighters a bum like that. Even though other fighters call other fighters a bum, and trainers and coaches call fighters a bum, and they get mad when somebody in the media call a fighter a bum. I don't get it. Like, they get mad like they never used it. Who is that again? Oh, he's a bum. Come on, man. Grote needs to play the villain role. I don't think she knows any other role but to play the villain role. Dispose and build up off the UK girls like Mayweather did the Latino fighters. I don't know how to build up off the UK girls. We're talking about MMA still, or we talking about boxing? If you're talking about Mayweather, you're definitely talking about boxing. And shouldn't you understand that right now where she sits in boxing with her credentials, she just can't go over there and fight soft touches in the UK? Like, I'm pretty sure she don't have no problem, but wasn't she signed for one fight over there at the Zone Matchroom? She signed for one fight. I mean, who's over there? She can't fight Katie Taylor. Ain't Katie at 147 or something like that? She have to really drop some weight. What weight class Katie Taylor in? I got a funny story about Katie Taylor, but I'm gonna keep it to myself though. Edwin Hearns ain't letting that shit slide though. Eddie Hearns is all over the place when it comes to boosting up UK fighters or whatever. He has his prime, you know, his numero primos. You know, he has the Anthony Joshuas, and then he has the Anthony Joshuas, and then the Anthony Joshuas. Everybody else is second, third, fourth, fifth place. AJ only lost his belts for a few months, and he was happy to do it. Yeah, he was. He was extremely elated, very excited, jovial. Anthony Joshua was very jovial, and he was just all grinny. He allowed Andy Ruiz to hold his belts and everything. I mean, it was a prelim to what's to come. Hold my belts, man. Take a picture. Take a picture with him. No problem. Take a picture. And then he's up there with his hand. After he was beat, he's up there holding his hand like, hey, what better guy to defeat me and whoop my ass than Andy Ruiz? I love it. What better guy to get it done than to hand me my first loss? If it was anybody else, I would want, you know, I would want Andy Ruiz to be that guy. If it was anybody I had to choose, it wanted to be Andy Ruiz, a last minute replacement and the first Mexican heavyweight. Kudos to Anthony Joshua being a part of history for the absolute wrong reason. But he did get his belts back in a controversial fat and overweight rematch that wasn't even close to the first one. Savannah Marshall, that fight is, from my understanding, I think that fight is on the horizon. That's on the calendar, man. You know, Savannah Marshall, one of the only females to defeat Clarissa Shields in the AMs. Yeah, that would be a good fight. But this ain't the amateurs; it's professional. That would be a good fight I want to see. That's definitely a fight I want to see. Real talk. There's just not many women in boxing, especially at the division Quote resides in. The divisions. She's been rotating in and out. So goddamn it, they need to show up. They need to show up. They need to make it upon them, take it upon themselves. It's a lot of women that's in mixed martial arts right now. There's a lot of women that's in MMA. It's tougher to train mixed martial arts, but women are having way better success, in my opinion, in MMA than boxing. Seriously, it's a tougher sport to train, but when it comes to the women fighters, they having way more success, in my opinion, than boxing. Taylor fights at 140, so Taylor's definitely no time soon is fighting Clarissa Shields. I thought she fought at a higher weight. Clarissa will have problems going down to 47, and she definitely ain't going down to 40. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. Andy Ruiz shaking my head. Yeah, we was kind of, I was just hoping the man defend his titles, and you know, it set up a undisputed bout between him and Deontay, but you know, somebody else paid him off. He went in there and cashed that check and went on about his business. Real talk. Shaking my head, lost me as a fan. First Mexican heavyweight champ coming in out of shape. Yeah, he didn't even want to go in the history books the right way, man. He didn't want to go in the history books the right way. Mitch said Jessica McCaskill is at 47. I know that, you know, because I know she fought Brockus, but I was just thinking Katie Taylor. You know, it was just scramble. I know McCaskill, she went in there for a rematch against Brockus. I totally get it. But Clarissa Shields beat the brakes off Jessica McCaskill. It's too easy. Clarissa Shields need to, when she get back from mixed martial arts, she need to go down there and pick up a 4th division. Seriously. She's talking about losing her ass. Lose your ass and go down there and fight McCaskill. Carissa's style is all wrong for McCaskill. McCaskill reminds me of a female Ricardo Mayorga. She's extremely wild. She's extremely wild. So Clarissa need to go down and get that. Undisputed Red to lose, in my opinion. Would love to see the GOAT tap that ass. 147 is tough to make for the GOAT, though. Plus McCaskill is chasing Katie Taylor rematch. Man, hey, if you wanna chase Katie Taylor's rematch, okay, cool. But right now, Clarissa Shields is just coming off that 154-pound victory. When she comes back, I'm pretty sure her team is talking. Go down there and get that 47 belt. Go down there and become undisputed in your 3rd division. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Fuck it. You already have all the other accolades. Go pick a 4th division. And you know, the fucked up thing about if Clarissa Shields is able to pick up a 4th division, she really can't retire from the sport because she ain't really made millions. Like, damn, she's only 26. She's like 26 years old or something like that. Oh my God. So you tack on 10 years to that. What else is her to do? What else is it for her to do? She's not making enough money so she can open up a gym and just live lavish, you know what I'm saying, with the credentials that she have. What else is it for her to do? If she continue to fight and nobody beats her, she might just get complacent and bored, for real. Ruiz was born out of shape, like Canelo was born ready. Yeah, you know, Ruiz has always been quite a hefty kid, but that's what his comfort zone is. He's learned how to fight. You know, Ruiz was one of them cats that was overweight when he was smaller, but he'll put them hands on you. Canelo sounded like a robot when he said, "I was born ready before the Mayweather fight." He did. But Mitch, he's the same one that turned around and say, "Well, I don't really count that as a loss. I was green. I wasn't prepared." He made up all these excuses later on. I'm really undefeated. I didn't lose. Yeah, you did. You lost, boy. You lost. Because you was there for payday. I want payday. I step in ring with Floyd. And I lost that day. Payday. Eddie Reynoso had to check Ruiz about that shit before he bought him in. Of course, because there was so much drama going on as to why he fired Manny Robles, and they couldn't goddamn get a handle on Ruiz. Of course, dog. They was up there saying the man wasn't even taking boxing serious after that. He was out there spending money. So once again, for him to take him to the top and Ruiz shit on him, he goes over to Eddie Reynoso. I mean, come on, man. I heard his pops even called in. Ruiz didn't even freaking call in. I heard his pops called in and say, your service is no longer needed. That's fucked up. They get you to the top, and then you leave them. And man, it's fucked up, dog. The GOAT tripping. This ass would be the first thing to return. Absolutely. And that's the way, you know, that's a sister thinking like that. Like, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't see any other race, Hispanic, white, sister would say. You know what I'm saying? Forget about that. Go pick up another division. Watch the fuck out of McCaskill, because man, her fighting style is just wild, rambunctious, reckless. It'll be a perfect fight for her. She'll just have to make sure she diet correctly and go in there and get that division. Undisputed in 3 division, goddamn. Everyone should address her as Mrs. GOAT. Shed whoop McCaskill easy, in my opinion. She'll whoop McCaskill. I agree, man. Shields give McCaskill the business. The business, man. And she still ain't getting paid them millions. She should be getting paid $1 million. I mean, $5 million minimal to step in the ring. $5 million, a nickel, minimal. But they dogging out female fighters, man. Boxing ain't showing them no love. Mauricio Suleiman don't even want to increase the damn rounds to 3-minute rounds. That's fucking them, dog. Because how they gonna request for higher pay and you're still fighting 2-minute rounds and you cap out at 10 rounds? They're not doing that in mixed martial arts. It's bullshit. The ladies in MMA fight championship rounds the same as the men. 5-minute rounds, period. Hella cards, Manny Robles said he fired him over text. Damn. Canelo had 40 plus fighters. 40 plus fights when he fought Mayweather. He was young though. Got his ass schooled. Mayweather gave him the master's degree in boxing. Absolutely, man. He gave him the professor's version of boxing. He asked for that core class and he got it. Not only that, people would say Canelo is green with 40 plus fights. And then you look at all them fights he had early in his career in Mexico. He had a lot of fights in Mexico now. But he started off, he got the ball rolling, built his resume up. And you can't say a fighter is going in there with 40 plus professional victories. Victories, y'all. Victories. Not Jorge Linares. Not 40 plus fights with 5 losses via knockout. But we're talking about 40 plus victories. And they don't want to get credit right now, you know what I'm saying, to Floyd for whooping his ass. What's going on, Boxing Buff? The weigh-ins to what? You talking about the weigh-ins? You talking about the weigh-ins for Floyd and Logan? That shit probably already happened. I'm just fucking with you, dog. That shit will be tomorrow. The weigh-ins tomorrow will probably be around 3:30, 4 o'clock. The weigh-ins is probably tomorrow around 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Because you remember this fight card is on the 6th. It's not on the 5th like Triller was. It's on the 6th. So they'll be weighing in tomorrow around 3:34, something like that. Cool. Appreciate you pulling up. Never seen you around here before. But be sure to, check out the channel, man. Be sure to check out the channel. You know what I'm saying? I don't like telling people subscribe. Get the likes up. Subscribe. Get the likes up, man. If they really truly fucking with you and tune in, man, they'll do that shit without being told. They grown ass adults. If you need for me to tell you that shit, just for me to get you to subscribe, I don't know, man. You might not get that effort from me. You know what I'm saying? I do it every now and then, though. Who's jumping up and down for Daniel Dubois' return to the ring? And I forgot to tell y'all too. It was talked at one time that Roy Jones was going to step in the ring with Vitor Belfort in a boxing match. Vitor Belfort is a former UFC champion. Okay. So Vitor Belfort is on the Teofimo Lopez Cambosa's card, George Cambosa's. Vitor Belfort is fighting the brother, the real Tarzan. That is going to be incredibly intriguing, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? Vitor Belfort is fighting in a boxing match the real Tarzan. This is a guy who basically has some of the most incredible freaking, I don't know, his environment of wildlife and dealing with big game animals, taking care of them and everything. It's just crazy. This dude is like the real Tarzan. Like, he's dealing with all these animals. He really do this shit. He really goddamn stay abreast, take care of them, having on his property, some real shit. He's fighting Vitor Belfort this month, June 19th, the same night as Charlo's card. So we'll see how those numbers do. It's just what added. It was added late, but yes, Vitor Belfort is fighting the real Tarzan. Y'all stay close for that. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. There's so many people out here talking as if Manny Pacquiao is going to have a chance against Errol Spence. I know y'all talking that talk. King Miss say the Guo ass will return not to one slice of cake. It's going to take more than that going down to 147. It's going to take some hamburgers, pizza. She's going to have to get some steak up in that motherfucker because, steak, it take a while to digest. So you put that steak up in there, you know what I'm saying, and let the body digest it. That beef. He said, what's your prediction of views on Floyd exhibition and Teal versus Cambosa? Teal Pop say they doing 2 mil PPV. Well, the first part of it, what's my view on Floyd Mayweather exhibition? I just feel something is up. Maybe I'm diving too far into it when it comes to expectations, but it just seems like they pushing hard on the Paul brothers. They pushing extremely freaking hard. Something's up. Like, they're gonna try to make some money off Jake Paul. We know that they're gonna try to make some crazy money off Jake Paul because he just signed a multi-fight deal with Showtime. But for Logan Paul, though, I just can't put a finger on this fight with Floyd Mayweather. You know, they're pushing hard for Logan Paul too, but he needs a victory. I'm wondering if that victory is going to come Sunday. Seriously, I just see something fishy. I smell it. If Floyd take a L, I heard him say something today. It may not mean something, but he say this fight ain't going on my record, because they was praising him how he can scoop in for an exhibition bout and make so much money and then leave. So Floyd knows this fight is not going on his record. He knows that. Who I think will win? I have to go with Floyd. I have to go with Floyd being the master boxer that he is. But I think it may be some type of controversy attached to this fight. As for Tio Kambosos, I got to go with my boy Tio. Even though he's been talking reckless lately, hopefully I have a chance to speak to him about that. Maybe not, maybe so, maybe not. You know, people wanna, you know, in this YouTube shit, when I found out that certain people that, even though you're not in competition with them, if they have more, call themselves having more access online, you know, finding out, you know, they might be talking some shit behind the scenes to certain fighters to try to deter them from going to certain channels. And I do my own thing. I do support other channels though. But when it comes down to Teofimo, I found out that to be the case. You know what I'm saying? For real. That's real talk. I know that to be true. But as far as Teofimo, I look for him to break Kambosos down. I'm not saying he's going to run through Kambosos like he did Richard Comey. Kambosos looked the part. You know what I'm saying? He looks strong. I say if Teofimo does stop Kambosos, it might be like an 8th or 9th round stoppage. But from Tio saying it's not going outside the first round. As far as Lopez Sr. saying it's going to be 2 million PPV, I really don't think so, being on June 19th. I don't think it's going to be 2 million views. A fight that I believe is going to exceed 2 million PPV is Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, to be honest with you. I don't think Lopez and Kambosos is going to be that fight. I don't think so. J8 said Dubois will win that fight, but if he can't make adjustments to a jab, he will have trouble with the better heavyweights. True words, man. We've seen that with Joe Joyce. Absolutely. Dubois was too cocky. Joyce was eating them shots. It humbled you quick. It was when that eye was like, hey, Daniel, do you see me? There's some problems going on. Do you see the swelling? Move your head. It hurts. The front side of the glove hurts. I cannot. Let me see. Let me wipe me, please. Shit. My shit closed. Man, I was talking to him. Daniel, do you see me? Somebody put some inswell on this motherfucker. I was talking to Daniel. I'm swelling up. Move your head. Use your footwork. Something. Joe Joyce is just tatting his ass up. Pop, pop, pop. Like popcorn. L-Dub back in the building. What's good? He said we got Juneteenth fight on Charlo Montiel. June 19th card. Yep. Gary Antonio Russell versus Emmanuel Rodriguez. Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. Emmanuel Rodriguez is a former champion too. Absolutely. That's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good fight. You know, Antonio Russell is the middle, so to speak, because Antoine fight at 140. And if I'm not mistaken, Antonio fights at bantamweight. So you have Antoine fights at 140, just destroys Santiago. And then you have Antonio Russell, who fights at 118, and Gary Russell at 26. D. Hodges, in my opinion, King Mitch. 2 mil is a far fetch for T.O. versus Kambosos. Man, come on, man. If they break Holyfield and Tyson, man, come on, man. I'd be shocked. I'll be shocked. On June 19th, moving the date too, and you compete with Charlo. There's a lot of people gonna be watching Teofimo's fighting. It's a lot they're gonna be watching Charlo. Several fight cards on June 19th as well. I can't see Teo versus Camelos cracking the mill. I can't see it, man, especially 2 mil. I can't see it. Wilder versus Fury 3 is bigger than boxing. It's bigger than rap. That shit is personal. Absolutely. That shit is almost motherfucking bigger than mortal life. Shit we think of in reality. Like you think about a fight with 2 individuals has been there twice already. And they're going in there a 3rd time next month. It's big. Wilder, we might see a riot. I'm serious, man. It's gonna be a different type of atmosphere. Serious. We might see what we've seen out there with Chris Arreola and Andy Ruiz. ¿Qué pasó, mucho? ¿Qué pasó, puto? I mean, motherfuckers goddamn just throwing down in the stands. Pendejo. Shit, they was goddamn not giving a fuck over there. It's almost gave us that Riddick bow of Vander Holyfield when the trooper came in and he landed and motherfuckers started whooping his ass. It seems like something, man. Something's bound to happen. The Allegiant Stadium outdoor. Man, I don't know. I hope they have shit on lock. Look, believe me, when I tell you first, something's coming from the sky. It's going to be something, man. It's going to be something crazy. If this could be a perfect fight where it goes off without a hitch, no controversy, no conspiracy, it would be great. But the fight that a lot of people aren't talking about as much is Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao has he been elevated or reinstated as full WBA super champion yet? Has he been reinstated yet? Because that should happen real soon. Manny Pacquiao being reinstated. I see Errol Spence to the Filipino community. Of course, I gotta look at it from a standpoint of Errol Spence, who has some more work to do in boxing. I see him not destroying Manny. Like Errol Spence isn't going to give us that one Manuel Marquez, but he will put in that work on Manny Pacquiao. But I just don't see him destroying him, because at the end of the day, the Filipino boxing community is huge. So I think Errol Spence is going to give him the business, defeat him, hug him at the end, and say, "I appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to grace the square with you. You're a legend of the sport of boxing. You know the same thing. You're an 8th division champion. Now you're 62-8. You know what I'm saying?" Errol Spence is gonna say, Manny, I like to thank you, Manny, for giving me an opportunity to grace the square with you, Manny. And to everyone out there, I'm not about to fall asleep, but I just want to let y'all know that Manny Pacquiao is now on my resume, and it's better than Terrence Crawford. So Terrence, if you listen, Terrence, let's make this fight happen. Yeah, and y'all come out and see the fight. I mean, that's what that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna be easy on Manny to not destroy him. I don't see it make the fight look interesting. I don't foresee any motherfucking controversy like Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao. I don't see him dropping Errol Spence. I don't see the fight being close that people like, oh man, I don't know who's winning. It's undetermined and we're in the championship rounds. I don't see that shit happen. I think if Manny gets stopped, his corner throws in the towel. If Manny gets stopped, in my opinion, his corner throws in the towel. Now, I'm not saying Errol cannot stop Manny with a punch or knock him out. I'm saying as far as the punishment goes, Manny has 2 feet out the door in retirement. He's getting a nice, hefty paycheck for fighting Errol Spence. So therefore, they don't want that man to take any extreme punishment. And he's a Filipino politician. Come on, man. Manny's protected. Way too many fights scheduled for 19. Chavez Jr. and Senior fighting. Yep. Honorable mention. Jaime McGill versus Selecki. That fight's off. That fight is no longer. Gabe Rosado, Blair Cobbs, and Charlo. Yeah. Teal versus Cambosis. Gonna do 300,000 pies. I got Manny for the upset. How dare you, D. Hodges? And no, I can't be mad at you, D. Hodges, because, you know, Terrence Crawford, my boy, man. But D. Hodges said he got Manny Pack for the upset for sure. Got you. I'm still eating Thurman Crow. Damn. You go from Thurman to Manny Pacquiao. You must want to keep a full stomach. Cause right now, betting on Manny, you're gonna be full. That shit gonna come to you well done. Delivered at your doorstep. $100 on Thurman. Okay. You bet a little bit. You bet a bill. It's all good. But for that Errol Spence fight, y'all. I mean, can you knock him from being able to pick up that fight with Manny? I mean, I wanted Terrence Crawford to get the fight, but Bob Arum say that it wasn't this and he can't make no money. He doesn't sell and all this other bullshit. Man, he just, oh my God, he did a terrible job. Please, Terrence Crawford, if you're able to abort mission, I know your contract is expired in October. Man, leave, man. God damn. Now I know why Floyd Mayweather went through the extreme to separate himself from Bob Arum. Mikey Garcia out of the sport a couple of years to get up out of that contract. Terrence Crawford, another big name, trying to get up out that motherfucker. I mean, damn. I'm curious if Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, will people even give a damn? People going to give a damn, man. Seriously. It's been marinating in pickle juice for too long, bro. Errol Spence goes in here and wins against Manny Pack, gets the WBA title. It's not going to be a 50-50 fight. I can't see it. I still got Terrence Crawford defeating Errol Spence, but it's not going to be a 50-50 fight. That's just me. Whether the boxing public, it depends on the fight date that people pick this fight up. If it does happen, I really hate talking about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, but if the fight happens, it might be sometime in 2022. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting James from Miller will make his return during the Wilder first Fury 3 fight. I'm still waiting on that the whole fight card. Yeah, I said Bo Holyfield, the paraglider came in there. The paraglider came down in there and shit. Holyfield was the only one to see it first. Riddick Bowe didn't. Riddick Bowe turned around and both of them were staring like, and that motherfucker got his ass whooped. Rock Newman was over there. You know, Rock Newman didn't fucking play now. Rock Newman didn't play. I need Rock Newman as my manager. Like at that time, like Rock Newman didn't play. You saw how he reached up there and pulled old boy over the ring that he kicked Riddick Bowe. No, Rock said, hell no, shawty. You ain't doing that to my fighter. He pulled a professional fighter over the top rope. Rock did not play, man. I'm gonna put my 100 on Spence. No, D. Hodges. What are you talking about? You said Manny for the upset, bro. You got to put your money on Manny, bro. You got to put your money on Manny. But I see people doing that a lot lately. They was like, man, I'm going for Manny. I'm gonna put my money on Spence. I don't do that, man. The fighter I go to is that's what I'm betting on. I just make that say fuck it. That's what it is. I'm not saying, well, I'm going for T.O., but I'm putting my money on, nah, I'm going for the fighter I support. Period. Ain't no question about it. You heard the shit about Errol Spence, right? And Keith Thurman. And I can't really blame Errol Spence as much as I criticize him for making fucking excuses. Keith Thurman, when he was unified, he wouldn't even look Errol Spence's way. He wouldn't even acknowledge him as a reputable challenger. You know what I'm saying? When he had the WBC and WBA title, he wouldn't give the man a time of day. So now he's without nothing. His WBC strap is in the hands of Spence, and his WBA title is in the hands of Manny Pacquiao, I suppose, / Yordenis Ugas, right? Errol Spence ain't trying to give Keith Thurman any love. Man, I don't know why it has to be like that. Like, he's still a good name to have on your resume. He only has one loss. I don't know why it has to be all this grudge matched, this grudge. You holding a grudge in boxing because somebody didn't give you this. If he didn't give it to you, okay, allow him to fight, and you show him, you all about this paycheck. Go get the money. But I see this shit with Demetrius Andrade and the Charlos, and I see this shit with Errol Spence and Keith Thurman right now. But more so, both of those guys, Andrade and Thurman, they fucked themselves. They really did. They fucked themselves, man. Real talk. Errol Spence won't even entertain Keith Thurman fight. He won't entertain it, man. Errol Spence has mentioned that. Sean Porter beats Crawford. But mentioning Sean Porter just brings me to this, that Sean Porter was talking about a fight being fixed. Oh my God. Sean Porter said Devin Haney and Jorge Linares' fight was fixed, man. See, if I would have said some shit like that, motherfuckers would have been like, man, I can't believe you just saying that shit because you critical of Haney and shit. But Sean Porter, of all people, have voices just chiming in. What's going on with Sean Porter? Sean Porter said the Jorge Linares and Devin Haney fight was fixed. Damn, that's a bold statement to make. It seems like him and Timothy Bradley and even Andre Ward, they be on their shit sometime. Even Sergio Mora, I think they're really telling these guys, say some shit that's controversial so we can get more viewership. That's it. Don't give a fuck about anything else. You want to keep your job? Okay, say some shit to bring people in and comment. I want to show you something right quick, and you tell me what you think, right? It's just a little puzzling. It's just a little puzzling because, if I seen somebody that was on here, I'll be saying the same thing. I was like, that shit is wild. Let me read these comments first. I think man is a good fighter for Spence. Only one fight removed from the wreck. Look good versus Danny, but not like his best self. I understand Pac is old, but he has a chance with his speed. King Mitch, I disagree. Manny Pacquiao don't have no chance except to show up and use what skills he has in the first half of the fight. I believe he has no chance against Spence. The fight If it goes to a UD, we've seen Spence go to a UD, or he stops him. Either way, I see Spence winning that fight. Aaron needs to make a statement. I hope he don't start talking that Mikey Garcia, I'm gonna outbox him shit. Well, Manny does have that speed, but Manny's extremely, in boxing years, old. In boxing years, you have to tack on 10 to 15 more years in life. Manny's been around for a long time. He's been knocked out several times, man. I know everybody loves Manny, but he has some miles on him. Manny Pacquiao has some miles on him, y'all. I don't know why y'all, it's hard for y'all to see. But in reality, this is Manny Pacquiao. In reality, that's Manny. Inside his body, that's Manny Pacquiao. Y'all tell me what you think about this. Let me bring this up right quick. What do you think about, like, damn, I can't bring it up, man. God damn it. They put a motherfucking it's a different type of file. Shit. I get it. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do it. God damn it. But let me share screen. Let me share screen and you tell me what you think about this bullshit. Like, this is where we at right now, y'all. This is where we at with this beta shit that's going on. I don't know how to. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm about to share screen. Hold up. Tell me what you think about this. Hold on for a second. That's not the right one. My bad. That's not the right one, y'all. Give me a minute and then we're going to move on. Shit. What y'all think about that right there? What have we come to? Stylistically, fashion. What have we come to? If you saw somebody that you knew, one of your boys, right? And you saw him on the street, if I can't put myself into it because I never wear a motherfucking purse around my neck with Mickey Mouse. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care what brand it is. I don't care what brand it is, shouty. We have similar purses that women are carrying too. You call that a man satchel or whatever the case may be. But what do y'all think about that? Why would you need that? Do you have a pistol inside of it? You know, that's what I was saying. You know, you have Mickey Mouse shit that's going on. I know it's a lot of high-end brands that has Mickey Mouse, Gucci, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just wanted to show y'all that, man. I mean, I just think that's crazy, man. Where has fashion become rather? That's just weird. Just Spence winning. I got Spence whooping his ass. He said he has Spence whooping his ass, though. I think Spence would be significantly better than he was Danny. Man, I see Spence giving Manny Pacquiao the business, but respecting him enough not to dog him. Seriously. I mean, people have to understand Manny is old, man. Not just old as in age. He's old in tread, in years and experience. He's old. He's very old. Blame Spence for his stance on Thurman. But to be honest, Keith isn't doing anything to force his hand. Motherfucker ain't fought since Pac-Man. If he active and wrecking shit, it'll be different. Totally agree on that. 100. poured on some bullshit, say this about Haney, but deny all the allegations in Wilder versus Fury's second fight. The shit strange. Porter should understand Linares is old and got his ass whooped 9 rounds straight. Yeah, actually 10. Actually 10, because he landed that right hand at the bell. So I got to give Haney his credit. It's 1 through 10. 1 through 10, Haney put in that work on Linares. He put in that work. Linares had no gas to step on after being punched on for 9.5 rounds straight. Plus, Haney utilized his form of Gamboa clinch he learned in his last fight. And that's probably why Sean Porter is saying that the fight was fixed in so many ways. Because Sean Porter's a fighter, so he probably seen Linares as a much better fighter than that. But as I look at the fight, Linares was actually trying to take Haney's head off, but he was going head hunting. And I couldn't understand why Linares wouldn't just lower his placement and go to the body. But if you knowing that Haney was slipping underneath your punches, easy. I mean, round after round after round, why didn't you go to the body? Furthermore, you came out in the 11th, and you came out in the 10th, and you allowed him to do what the fuck he wanted to do. I mean, not the 10th, the 11th. He was holding and all that. You heard him in the 10th, and then he came out in the 11th. You allow him to hold and do whatever. You weren't strong enough to then create space. It's a lot of things I'm looking at that Sean Porter may be looking at, but no way am I going to say the fight was fixed. I'm not going there. But Sean Porter, he can come out with that shit. He can say what he want to say. That's not something I'm trying to touch on for real. I'm not trying to talk on that topic. Sean Porter, I'm pretty sure, he's been saying a lot of controversial shit lately. Him, Tim Bradley, you know what I'm saying? Andre Ward, his scorecard shit. Sergio Mora talking shit. All them guys up there. Man, that's the bag you gave your bitch to stash her 22 in. For real, man. Like, what we talking about? If anybody took a picture of me with that bag around, it'll be, epithets being thrown around. You know what I'm saying? But just because it's him, and plus he a white dude too. You know what I'm saying? He can get away with that. They trying to say it's fashion, but he has that strung around his neck, just like women. Did you hear the report Sean said that caused Kenny Porter and Bill Haney had an issue a year ago? I know they had an issue. I knew they had an issue. It's plenty of people have an issue with both of them. If anything, Garcia versus Campbell will fix. Yeah. We could say that because Luke Campbell didn't do shit when he got up. He just let Ryan Garcia push him back with no damn energy. Come on, Ryan. Come on. Punch me. He didn't do shit. I don't even like talking about that Ryan Garcia, that capping ass motherfucker. He's the number one on the Duck Masters Coalition. Haney destabilized him, and that body work. Linares was tired. Them late rounds. I just got to give Haney his assessment that he went up there and boxed. But I think Linares, being experienced as he was, why didn't he go to the body? But Haney outboxed him purely. Period. He outboxed him. But I can see where some people say, well, experienced as Linares was, why you kept headhunting the entire fight? Because really, you can make that shit look like somebody shining and do the opposite of what you should be doing if you was actually trying to win. Like Linares has been in there with some top names. Why were you headhunting so much? Why didn't you switch this shit up? You kept trying to take Haney's head off, and the man Haney is going to your body. He's sticking a jab on you to the body and the head, body head. He's landing shots on you on the inside. And then finally you land some shit in the 10th round, come out in second and then do nothing. Come out in 11, didn't do too much of anything. 12, get out of here, bro. But taking nothing away from Haney, man, he got the job done. Today generation women like that feminine shit. I know, man. Down here in the A, shawty. I see couples walking with that shit you see right there. With that bag. I seen couples. The male and the female walking with bags hanging down off the front of their shoulders like that. Absolutely, man. These dudes matching purses and dresses with their bitch. For real. You know how many people we seen out there with the what was that flip the switch challenge? Wasn't that the flip the switch challenge? Real talk. You had dudes putting on dresses and shit, and they girl wearing they shit. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what we got going on. Don't nobody want to talk about it. It's too touchy. Support it. Just support it. It's natural. You know, embrace your femininity. No, absolutely. What we talking about? But people, that's all we got. Man, it's always a pleasure. Appreciate you pulling up, man. I've been on here 3 hours already talking. Appreciate everyone for pulling up, man. Stay close. Turn up and tune in. It's some fights that's coming up. For real, some fights that's coming up. And the only one that's really popping, of course, you got the PPV this weekend. Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And, you know, you have plenty of other fights, but appreciate y'all. Continue to support the channel. And salute.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am.